Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. I mistakenly wrote down this stream is happening at 8:30 a.m. on the schedule. It's not. It's 8:30 p.m. Those are different. Those are very different. Oops. Uh, yeah. So today they're going to be doing a live letter that's about the future. I mean, it's always about the future, but today is not going to be about so much 6.1. Today is about the next 10 years of FF14. That in being like large plans. Uh, if they were ever going to announce something to do with the engine or the textures, now would be the fucking time. Now would be the time to say that they're planning for some kind of engine or texture overhaul for the next expansion or something. There's no way. It's a complicated situation because there was an interview 4 years ago in which, in like 3 or 4 interviews, Yoshi P said that like they're aware that at some point they have to update the graphics because they're working with limited, asset use. The textures have a maximum size on characters, but they don't have the resources to devote to that right now. They said they are never going to do that. I can literally go find an interview where Yoshi P says that it is inevitable that they have to update the fucking textures. Like, if I want to fucking spend the 10 minutes, I can go do that right now. But I don't. Yum, 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 yum. Regardless, just come on. Just come on. Come on. Go over to Come on. Go to Unreal Engine. Come on. Predictions on how long this will be with the Q&A? Maybe 4 or 5 hours. They tend to the back half of these drags like shit, dude. Oh boy. What do you mean I did the page thing with my drink? What are you talking about? Somebody just said I did the page thing with my drink. The yum 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 part? What do you mean like that? I made the sound like I went yum 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 or so. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's starting to happen. Oh, it's starting. Oh no. Oh no, it's happening. The synthesis is happening. We're becoming the same person. Oh no. Oh, I hate it. Oh no. It's how it goes. Oh, there's no escape from this. Hey, by the way, we only have they're doing the pre-stream right now. They're telling some stupid story. I don't know what it's about. Hold on, let's go take a look. Is there no fucking sound on this? Hold on. There we go.
Of course, with doing these interviews, I want to convey what my thoughts are on the whole concept of the metaverse in a very
Oh,
accurate.
wow. Okay, yeah, we don't need this. Um. Oh boy. Mm. Mm. All right. Mm. Mm. But like I was saying, there are some donations and subscriptions last night that came in that for some reason got marked as like red. That I was reading over them, and I definitely did not read or thank them, and I would like to apologize to the following people for not doing so last night. And hopefully you're here. You may not be, but I feel bad and I'm sorry. And with that being said, I would like to thank the following people, like Strachilias, who subbed to say that there's a new Twitch app for LG TVs that sucks shit. I did not know that, but I would never use a fucking Twitch app through my goddamn television. It won't load subscribed streams because it can't serve an ad first. I can only watch your stream if I'm logged out, so it can make me watch the ad first. Great Q&A, Twitch. Wait, I did read that. Oh, God. Am I losing my fucking mind? Arizin Arcana kicked in a sub to say, "Hey Pat, after watching full playthroughs of both games, I need to ask, who's the bigger bro, Kim Kitsuragi or Galerius? Who is Galerius? Does anybody know who that is? I don't think it's a rapper. Kim, then. A Pathier sub to say beep, thank you. Bog Bozzy Positive. Oh boy, it's a bad day. Bog Body Positive kicked in a sub. I got an offer for a job that accommodates my disability. Good for you. Hope this one works out. So in celebration, I'm gonna stay up watching Aloy kick the robot butt. Why, thank you. Why, thank you, and good job on your new job. I'm very happy for you. To Rage subbed, asking, "Hey Pat, I've been meaning to ask, why did you decide to become a bunny boy? Just for giggles? You don't seem to the type to like that aesthetic." I actually switched over as a goof. As a goof. I thought it would be funny that when I loaded in on the moon, that I would be a bunny rabbit. And I'd be like, haha. And then I played that stream and I was like, oh, I really like the character's silhouette and like the animations and how gear looks on a character that's not horribly stretched. And also, the bunny rabbits like heads are of a significant visual quality upgrade to all the other ones. Like every time there's a new race added to the game, they're like genuinely better looking than the old ones. Like the all raw look better than the older ones, and then the bunnies look better than the all raw, and the Hrothgar just look like complete garbage. So I guess that's the exception that proves the rule. But still, Rancid Nanners hosted my channel last night. Thank you, Rancid. And Dire Hamster sub. Thanks, Dire Hamster. So that covers everybody from yesterday, I think. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Sup, Pat? No spoilers. I got part of an Elden Ring street. Sup, Pat? No spoilers. I caught part of an Elden Ring stream, and an area they showed was maybe the most beautiful area I've ever seen in a Souls game. That seems cool. I wish I had Elden Ring. Oh. Scout's honor, hand on my heart. I do not have it early. Black Mage Slowpoke kicked in a sub. Thanks, Black Mage. Paulius Maximus sub. Thank you. So did John at Dawn. Appreciate it. You think I'd be fucking streaming this live letter if I had Elden Ring on my Steam account? Are you crazy? Yes? Okay, maybe this one's... Okay, still. Yeah, I'm not tuning into the live letter until 9 p.m. because they're just talking about a bunch of bullshit. Oh, I am doing it! No! No! Oh, man. Oh, no, Paige saw! Oh, no. Oh, no. How did so many people get it a week early? So I don't know if you saw a post about it, but I tweeted that Elden Ring copies were literally in stores last Tuesday, like 3 days ago. So to fucking get ready. And that's it. GameStop manager just steals a copy. And that's it. That's the whole story. Excuse me. Fluorescent LB kicked in a sub. Thank you. Let's go. Yes. Plus on Black sub to say 6 months. Thank you. Appreciate it. Rada sub. I sure can't wait to hear there to be no healer changes. That is absolutely not going to be the focus of today's thing at all. Just to watch kicked in a sub. Pat, help me. I'm playing Horizon and I keep trying to do seafood dodges and parries. I wish. Oh, that'd be great. Amani completely forgot kicked in $5. Thanks, Amani. I was wondering why Pat was streaming 14. I completely forgot about the fucking live letter. Hope it's good. Give Geefster and the kitty a pet. Speaking of, something very important happened today. Zangief was sitting over there, and he was being like, sleepy dog, as you have seen. And I was sitting here. I'm pretending this is control. I was like, and the dog decided that what the good thing to do would be to slowly amble over here and then climb into my lap and sleep in my lap for like an hour. And my legs died and I have no legs now. And he is just deciding to become a lap dog once again. And it is very cute. And I love him very much, but also he is too big. That is my story. Kagan of Astoria sub, thanks, Kagan. Been enjoying the streams this week, and next from motel room because my bathroom's getting fully redone. Yeah, hey, well, I mean, motels suck shit, but good job on the new bathroom. That'll be nice. Voltrib kicked in a sub, say, holy fuck, 13 months. And by 13, I mean 14. I don't know how I possibly read that incorrectly. Literally a 1-4. And I'm doing an FF14 stream. That's stupid. Giant Super Guy sub. Thanks, Giant Super Guy. The wait for Elden Ring is killing me, but at least I can spill blood and collect skulls until the Warhammer to pass the time. Also, I need to get back to leveling jobs in 14. I have been playing Horizon today. And I've been running runs of roguelikes and roulettes in 14 because I can't play anything. Like I play Horizon for like a half hour, and then I'm like, it's not a, just won't I'll play Elden Ring, and then I get pouty. And then Paige asks me why I'm pouty, and I'm like nothing. And she's like, "Are you sad about no Elden Ring?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I cry about it. That's how it happens. It's extra like infuriating for me because from a work perspective, like I can't start something for real now. Friday the 25th to like fucking I don't know, the 18th of March. I'm going to stream an Elden Ring. Like who the fuck knows how long that game is? By the way, I have a sneaking suspicion that Elden Ring is really long. It's just a sneaking suspicion that it's really, really long. Like, really long. That's just a guess I have. I would be shocked if the average person finished it in under 50 and completionists finished it in under 130. I'd be surprised. Wait, they turned the stream off? What a weird way to do that. Anyway, that's my guess. I'm making a big guess here. Just to watch, what are you talking about? Viva the Dragoon kicked in 500 bits. Thanks, Viva the Dragoon. Hey, Pat, just to let you know there are rumors that the PC version of Elden Ring has stuttering, collaborated by Lance McDonald, the Bloodborne 60 FPS fan patch guy. Also, people are theorizing that it's due to shader compilation. I don't know what that means or why people think that. I'm just letting you know because if you're planning to get it on PC and you like your frame rate stuff. Yeah, that's possible. It's a tough thing because the PC the requirements they released are pretty high. Um, and I would not be surprised to see it crush a lot of people's computers. I would, judging by the PC specs they released, I can kind of imagine like a Monster Hunter World situation. But who knows? Let me check my email and see if somebody's telling me about it. No, no email. Oh crap! I just closed the fucking tab with 14 in it. Damn it. Hey, babe. It's going okay. Yeah. I sure did, Paige. It's a little embarrassing. How do I think it'll run on the PS4? There were some people in the network test that played it on Elden Ring on PS4, and they said that it ran like pretty surprisingly okay. It was like a 1080p 30 thing. What's up? You look fucking confused. Yeah? Hey, Paige, what's up with naps?
Old people take them.
It's true. Oh, no.
Did you tell them we know?
I don't remember, actually. Oh, they're there, honey. There, honey. Honey. They're there.
This is not exhausted.
Then go back to sleep.
No.
Hey, who's the Bloodborne 60 FPS guy? Can I just type that into Google and get that? Lance McDonald. Oh, yeah, they're right there. Where's his Twitter at? Can I click on him? Ah, Man Fight Dragon? That's a great fucking Twitter.
Why are people mad at him?
No, no one's mad. What are you talking about? Where? I did? Well, it's gone now. Oh, he's talking about the Elden Ring leak stuff. Oh man, people are just streaming the retail version of the game. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh boy. That's fucking funny as shit. Hey, by the way, hey, who said that? Hey, Giant Super Guy, could you send me the tweet or whatever where they talk about the PC version? I would actually really appreciate that. And by Giant Super Guy, I clearly mean Viva la Dragoon. Oh, I closed it again! No! I'm so stupid!
You're sweet.
Stop calling me sweet. We all know what that means. We all know what it means. Patch, you're really sweet to me, and I love you. Paige, I'm doing your bullshit now.
What are you doing?
I took a sip of this, and I sipped it, and I went afterwards.
Yeah, because you are not strong in your identity, unlike me, secure. I'm a Chad. You're
We were in the car on Monday, and you started saying "a" after the end of your sentences.
I can't help it that like a billion of your people say it at me. Okay? Not my fault. It's not my fault.
You tried. You tried. Hey, Night of Trousers sub. Thanks, Night of Trousers. So this is that Cuphead show on the Netflix. Not too bad. Definitely a kid's cartoon. It's not bad. Also, keep on orbing. Will do. We'll definitely orbit. Thank you.
Hey. You know who's in orbit? Me. Because Pat's my cute little ham planet, and I just orbit around him.
I don't want to be a ham planet.
Planet, babe.
No.
And I'm your moon.
JP got Elden Ring early. Don't know whose Namco contact is. Who's JP?
Who's JP?
From the only JP I know of in the business is like the guy who used to work at Platinum. Hey, Green Caps kicked in a sub. Thanks, Green Caps. Time to see where all the big money from the game exploding recently is going. Nowhere. Nowhere. Osprey Works kicked in a sub. Evening, Pat. What weird, deep references from Final Fantasy would you like to see show up in 14 now that one big story arc is wrapped? I don't even know anymore.
They're gonna go to Final Fantasy IX land.
Which is named?
Alexandria.
No, it's not.
Shut up. What is it called? I don't remember.
Isn't it called Gaia?
Is it? But that they're gonna be doing that shit that Zidane and fucking.
Wow, you're killing it.
I don't care. And then the lady dude, they're gonna go through mirrors and shit. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? You're not alone.
Senior Peppo
only
kicked in a
plays-
sub. Says, hey, me and my static cleared P1S a couple weeks ago. Sunday we killed P2. Also tell Zangief he's a good boy. Hey, Zangief!
It only plays. Hey guys,
Zangief,
it only
good boy.
plays once
Zangief,
in the whole game, and it's
come
the
here.
greatest
Come here.
track. Okay, and I'm
Come
just
here.
saying it's gonna be 9, And I was, because listen, I was right about the fucking moon. No one believed me. Everyone thought I was stupid.
Oh no, he's going to his mama.
Everyone thought I was stupid.
Come here. Come on. Zangief. Come on.
You stinkle winkle. Go on, stinkle.
No, he wants to see his mama. He's wanting to hug his mama. No.
He stinks like he ate.
No.
Why are you stinking?
Demi Luna sub says, "Hey Pat, are you excited for that FF6 pixel remaster? Or do you think it looks like something that came out of Zangief's butt?" I don't know. I don't know. Oh, you scratching that dog's butt? Yeah. Oh, he loves it. He's so happy. Binary Fireball kicked in $5. Pat, you ever played Vagrant Story? Yeah. I beat it many years ago as a child. Many years ago. Very good game. Ultraviolet sub. Thanks, Ultraviolet. Wow, I bet. Shut up. Wow, shut up! Shut your fucking mouth! You too! You know what she's gonna do, right?
No, please don't hurt me. No! No! Oh, that's mean, Pat. No! Now the dog is angry. No! Stop it. Ah! Get out of here. Get out of here. I am neither high nor drunk. What's wrong with you guys? I'm just like this.
So literally all I did was start like hitting her like this on her back and her like collarbone, and then the dog started to go nuts and try and knock her over. I don't know why, but if you start smacking on somebody in this house, Zangief's like, yeah, me too.
And then he will beat the shit out of whoever.
Wild Yoshi sub, thanks man. SSJ Clyco kicked in $5. How much money does a pirate pay for corn? A buccaneer. Shut up. Shut up. Ow. You struck me. He struck me with pineapple. He's so strong.
You done Final Fantasy VIII stuff?
A little bit. A little bit. Don't strike me with the pineapple, please. He's so stupid and smelly. All right, moving on. Yeah. Oh, no, that absolutely 100%. If you have any plans to be unspoiled, yeah, probably not. Tech Turtle sub. Thanks, Tech Turtle. Appreciate it.
Stuff that isn't spoiler.
Yeah, but see, the problem with that is that they tend to be like, now that we've killed blank, we can use the blank that we got from blank to go to the new place.
I'm an idiot. I suspect that the big evil will have been defeated.
Yeah, but who the big evil is the important thing.
Oh, is that a surprise?
Yeah. Paige, who's the big evil?
Man.
There you go.
A big man who is evil. Right?
The Red Graver kicked in $5. Caught up on all my assignments in time for Elden Ring. Your streams helped get me through the school grind. Thank you. Keep on keeping on. I remember doing schoolwork badly. I just rushed it. No Holds Barred Productions gifted us up. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Kevlar Caviar sub. 18 months of slime. What a concept. Truly, this was the Pat stares at. Also, Paige's excitement for the definitely not happening FF9 remake is totally warranted. By the way, that is probably happening.
Of course it is.
No, shut up. Be quiet.
I'm smarter than you.
Where'd you get it from? The information.
My brain.
Yeah, you're just doing that. They should do it. So I want it, so they should do
I
it.
do the thing because I'm smart, and I go, they're probably gonna do this, and you're like, you're stupid, you don't know, and then I'm right.
You don't know. There was a
like,
leak.
I bet it's the moon, and you're like, whatever, loser, and then you're like, holy shit, it's the fucking
I didn't
moon.
say that. I said that was
No,
possible.
you did, and you told me I was dumb, and you said they will never go to the moon.
I did not say
You said they
that.
would never go to the moon, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
All right, we're going to the stream.
live.
There's no time for Paige anymore.
Hello everyone. 第68回ファイナルファンタジー14プロデューサーレターライブをお送りいたします。Thank you very much for tuning in to Final Fantasy 14 Letter from the Producer Live
Oh, can
number
you take that away from
68.
him? I cannot hear that.
皆さんに自己紹介お願いします。Please introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Naoki Yoshida, producer and director of Final Fantasy 14。皆さんおはようございます。そしてこんばんはな人も多いですね。Final Fantasy 14プロデューサー兼ディレクターの吉田です。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いし
We
ま
don't have
す。
time for Paige. We need
そ
only
して
the
本
P.
日進行を務めますコミュニティチームモルボルこと室内です。よろしくお願いします。My name is Toshio Murochi, also known as the Fox Clone. You are global community producer here. I will do the MC stuff for today's live letter. はい、そして、本日はですね、本日の、プロデュ PLL も、日本語と英語のバイリンガル放送でお送りしますので、我らがあいみさんがスクエニアメリカオフィスから入ってくださっております。So once again, today's letter live is fully bilingual in both Japanese and English. So we have a special member from Square Enix America office. あいみさんです。おはようございます。
おはようございます。スクエアニックスアメリカの徳武あゆみです。通訳を務めさせていただきます。よろしくお願いします。Hello everyone,
Thank you.
this is Amy from the Square Enix Los Angeles office. I'm going to be supporting for the translations today.
はい。で本日の、PLL はですね、このセットアップをご覧になった方もいるかと思いますが、吉田さんが話したことは、あいみさんが通訳してくださいます。で私が喋ることは
Yeah, I
自
ran
分
into
で
him once.
翻訳しながら進めていきますの
Yeah,
で、
back in we shared an elevator
で対し
back
て
at like PAX.
私からは大して重要な話は出ませんので、
Or something like that, like a million
私
years
が
ago, yeah.
私のことを翻訳し忘れてるなというのはスルーしておいていただければと思いますのでよろしくお願いします。So today's setup is 吉田さんexplain things in Japanese and then あいみさん will do 吉田さん 's voice in English and I will translate myself. はい、そして今日の PLL はですね、前半戦はファイナルファンタジー14の新たなる挑戦、次の10年に向けてということで、吉田さんからいろいろご説明いただきます。そして後半はですね、休憩挟みまして後半は、フォーラムで事前に募集しました、パッチ 6.0 をプレイしてみての、Q&A セッションをお送りしたいと思います。So
taste the
today's letter
ham.
live has two major parts, and then first half is the kind of presentation by producer director
You can't hear
Naoki
me?
Yoshida, which is where we are and where we are going for next 10 years. And then we have a taking break, and then latter half is the Q&A session based on your gameplay of 6.0 expansion.
But I wasn't talking.
はい、ということで、始めてまいりたいと
I
思
was
い
just
ます。
hugging on the dog.
ですね、私がこっちを見てるとき、
はい
こうなってるときは皆さんのコメントを見てるときなので、今日こういうシチュエーションすごい多いと思うんで、ご理解ください。
So you might see me turning my head sometimes when I'm speaking, but I'm actively looking at the comments that people are making as they watch the stream. So you may see me turned this way, but I am still participating. So just
Oh,
wanted
so
to
Yoshi
let you
P's
know.
looking at the
まあ
comments.
ちょっ
He's
とね
not leaning
日本の
over to
コメン
smell
ト
the
でね
translator.
この手の通訳放送はテンポ悪いんだよなって言ってる人いるんですけど、まあ、グローバル全体でねお届けしているので吉田の長い話をですね、あいみさん
she's
一生
not
懸
even
命
there.
ね
She's
通
a
訳してくれてるんでそこはねそれを言われると我々ちょっと悲しくなるんでそういうまあ、ファンフェスのステージぐらい
Hey, can I
で
have a
持って
piece of
見てもらえると嬉しいかな。
I'll love you
And
forever
we
if
do
you give
see
me a
some
piece of cheese.
comments about how translations kind of drag on the pace. It doesn't feel as quick. But I mean, it's here to try to facilitate communicating Yoshida's comments. It makes us sad if you're disappointed that it's in two languages. But perhaps if you look at it like
Oh,
in
the
that stage
Japanese
event where we
audience
have,
gets
the
pissy
Japanese and
because the
maybe
English
that might help it
translation
make it more
live
fun.
takes twice as
コメン
long.
トで今日は 6.1 はがっつりじゃないんですかっていうのもあるんですが、So we see some comments.
That's funny.
Do we have any further updates for
They
6.1
should just pre-record them and then put out like a subtitled version.
そうですね、パッチ 6.1
I don't think there's any
の
benefit
内
to
容
this being
と
live.
紹介に関しては3月4日
はい4日です
に、パッチ 6.1 特集
Oh, no!
パート1の
It's my
PLL を
cheese!
やる予定なので 6.1 のまあでも今日ちょっと出ますけどね、6.1 の詳しいところはそっちに譲ります。
So yeah, today's broadcast is not literally going to be just about 6.1. We may
Oh, they
touch
are
upon
doing
it, but then
6.1 stuff.
The details are going to be explained on another episode of the live letter on March the 4th. This is JST, but we will go into details at that timing.
あとはまあなんかこう重大発表的なねニュアンスで取られてるけど楽しく気楽に行くので皆さんもですね緊張せ
Izanagi's
ず気
looking
楽
forward
に
to how
今日は
straightforward
見てもらえ
6.1's
ると嬉
title
しいで
is.
す。
Watch it be like something as blunt as
Some people might be
adventuring in
bracing for a very
Narrasidia.
important announcement when we talk about today's broadcast, but that's not the intent. We would love for you to just relax and just have fun with the broadcast.
面白いですよ。
なんかこういうこと言うたびにさ「よしやめんの?」みたいなの出るんだよなついに俺さでもいつだっけ新情報発表会でさ、言ったばっかだよねライフワークだって言ってるんでそういう話じゃないんですよ。
I understand we were talking about like the future of Final Fantasy XIV, but every time we mention something like that, people are like, "Oh no, is Yoshida going to quit?" And no, I think I told us when we were doing our announcement showcase in February, it's like 14 is my life work. It's not like I'm going to just up and leave suddenly.
もうそんなんで
Yeah,
嘘
it's
つき
pretty
になる
interesting
の
to see
嫌だ
the,
から
the lead dev on a
なんだろう
project like
そん
this
なね
go, I
自分
will
の
literally
年をね
die
重大
before I
発
quit
表
this
みたいなね
job.
こと言わないですよ。
ちょっと恥ずかしいね。
And also fuck NFTs. Woo.
I don't want people to be going around saying, "Oh, you're such a liar," because I mean, I'm not the type of person who would make these kinds of like my personal announcements on a live stream.
He would never lie.
さあでは
Except all those
やって
times
い
he
きましょうか
lied
早速
about
ね
not knowing
前半
stuff.
大体
You gotta
2
do
時
that.
間
That's
ぐ
part
ら
of the
い
job.
後半も多分2時間ぐらい使うんじゃないかなと思います。なのでご飯食べたりですね今日土曜日なんで飲める人はお酒飲みながらとかでも全然いいので楽しくいきましょう。
Why?
So we're looking at least for the first part, we're looking at about 2 hours
But I need
broadcast. And so just you're free to do like you have dinner or like
Yeah,
eat
sure.
lunch as you're watching the broadcast. It is a Saturday, so if you want to start drinking early, you're more than welcome to do so.
So Paige just texted me if I wanted a
さあ行きましょう。
screwdriver, and I went,
では
why? Why would I need
画面切り替え
one?
てもらってい
And
い
she
か
just
な。
stared at me and just stared at me,
じゃ
and then I
あ
was like,
早速いき
oh.
ますが、
Yeah,
改め
no,
て今
sure.
日お話しする内容のトピックおさらいしておきましょう。
Okay,
Well,
so
I mean,
jumping
there's a
right in,
screwdriver over
let me go
there.
over the topics we will cover.
Tell me the
で
topics.
まず一つ目はちょっとですねまあ14
Oh, yeah,
これまで
they're gonna spoil it all.
せっかくにはね11年やってきているので
Literally, the first
まあ
thing
ちょっ
on
と
the
振り返
on
り
the
を最
topics
初に
today is the journey from
皆さんへの感謝も
14
込めて
from
やりたいと思います
2010 to 2021.
The first topic, of course, it's been
Oh,
about
okay.
11
Paige.
years to be accurate.
read something.
How long 14 has been going on. So we'd like to kind of
Wait,
do a
no,
little
you
bit
can
of
just
a
stop listening by
retrospect,
looking away?
Just convey our thanks to our players
That's
and
so
look back on
powerful.
everything.
でまあそれを振り返った上でですね、まあちょっとこ
New
の先
futures,
じゃあ
the
さら
next
に
10
もう
years.
10年は僕続けたいと思ってるんで、まあこの先10年さらに14を発展させていくために、まあ新しい挑戦やっていきますよといろいろ。
Can't believe they're doing a thing
まあ
of
どんな
like
ことや
the
っていくのか
next
というのをお知
10
らせしたいと
years
思い
of
ま
Final
す。
Fantasy 14.
And then once we do look back on our past, then we look forward to the next 10 years. Because as I mentioned, I would love to continue having Final Fantasy XIV for yet another 10 years. So there are
It's
many
ambitious.
different things that we want to do in order to continue expanding Final Fantasy XIV, many challenges that we want to take on. So I want to touch upon some of those items in today's broadcast.
Yeah,
で
Oh,
Destiny
こ
had
こ
a
まで
10-year
行ったら
plan. We
一
also
回休憩
what
を
a
挟
stupid
ん
lie
で
that was.
放送の後半として3つ目、パッチ 6.0 行月のフィナーレ、プレイしてみて何かありますかというので Q&A 事前に質問募集していましたのでそれに対していろいろお答えしていこうかなと思ってます。
And then once we do that, we will have a break in between, and then it'll go
Thank you,
into
darling.
the latter half of
Appreciate
the
it.
show where we kind of asked
you.
the players, what did you think after playing 6.0?
no
And so we will
screwdriver for
do
you,
a bit of
Debbie.
an Endwalker Q&A.
あと10年か吉田リビングデッドを使う気だなみたいなコメントがあったりね
We're seeing comments like, oh, 10 more years, huh? Is Yoshida going to kick off his Living Dead?
まあ
10
確かに
more years.
吉田の量産を開始しましたとか、クローンの吉田が誕生したので紹介しますとか、そういうのじゃねえかって書かれてましたね。
Do
But
I have a
think
10-year plan? I
I've
don't
seen
believe in
comments similar
10-year
to that,
plans.
and like people saying,
People with
oh, we
10-year
have
plans got their
mass
shit all
manufactured
messed
Yoshida
up by, I don't
clones.
know, a global
なので私はもう
pandemic.
完了してますよって書いてあるんですよ。
そう。
Yeah, then I say I've done already. So something like that.
では早速いきましょうか。まずはまあ正確にはね11年なんですけど大きくくくってまあ10年ここまで皆さんとねやってきたのをちょっと振り返っていきたいと思います。
Okay, so jumping into the timeline here, of course, accurately it's 11 years, but like we'll call this the 10 years of Final Fantasy 14.
まあいろいろありましたね。まあ2010年サービスを開始して、
Oh, wow,
そ
look
の
at that.
12月に運営体制ね全部
はい
開発も、一新して僕はここから参加ですね。
So first, 2010.
You can ignore the
was
whole
when it
left
all
side of the
started.
screen on this one.
Many things that happened caused us to sort of reconsider the development structures.
Just everything
and
from
there
the
was,
middle part to the
a
left.
lot of
Just you
changes that were
don't.
made in
Nuh-uh.
order to kind of reboot the title. So this is when I joined in. Yoshida joined into the
Why is the
project.
dog so mad at you?
で2021年の、
Oh.
違う2011年の10月14日に、まあ、14日が縁起がいいだろうっていうので申請をやりますよという発表してますね。
And then 2011, October 14th, we were thinking 14th must bring us good luck. And that's when we announced that we are going to have Final Fantasy 14 Reborn.
海外の皆さん詳しいよね。あゆみさんもインタビューにいてくれたと思うけど、9番を遊んでみたいので9番のサーバーを復活させる気ありませんかってクラシックファイナルファンタジー14やる気ありませんかってナイトメアって答えた
Yeah, the screenshot they're using for October 14th there isn't even
すげえ
real.
言ってんねコメントで。
I love how the comments from the West are, I love how they know all these details. And I'm sure Amy had sat into the interviews as well, but people were asking about, oh, are you going to make an FF14 1.0 classic like WoW Classic did theirs? And Yoshida answered, Nightmare. And so people are calling the time of 1.0 in Nightmare. It's awesome.
So that
でまあ
screenshot's the
2012
concept
年
piece for the
の
game.
11月11日にですね時代の終焉トレーラー公開とともにですね一旦申請の準備のために Q14 のサービスを、終了させていただいてます。
And then, of course, in November 11th of 2012, we titled it The End of an Era, and we sort of closed the service for the original version of Final Fantasy XIV.
まあ、9番からねやってくださってる方も結構いるし9番の捉え方って結構まちまちだとは思うんですけど9番の、ラスト付近はそれはそれでまた独特の、ゲームデザインの MMO として結構ね好きだった面白くなったんだよって言ってくれる人たちもたくさんいて、まあ、僕らシャットダウンするのを決めながらも作ってたところに対してそういうね評価をもらってたりするのはとてもありがたいことなので僕らもすごいね実は励みになってました。
And of course, people who have been playing since the original 1.0 may have their different opinions about how the game had played. But there were people who thankfully acknowledged how 14 was starting to shift, and they did take notice about how the game design was unique, despite we were looking to sunset the original version. And so it was wonderful that people acknowledged that, and that was very encouraging
Bye,
for
honey.
us as a team.
I hate the
ちなみに
term
9
sunset
番
so
から
fucking
今
much.
日視聴してくだ
Every
さって
time
る
you
方
hear
で
somebody tell you
Q14 から
that
や
they're
ってる
gonna
よって
sunset
方
something, it sucks shit.
どうですか手を挙げてもらってもいいですか
So if I could have people in the comments, by show of hands, I don't know how you raise your hands, but like anybody who's been playing since 1.0, the original Final Fantasy 14.
Not me, but I
we'd
have
love
many
to see
friends
who's been with us
that
since
have.
then.
めっちゃいるな。
Boy, there's a lot. Wow,
What?
thank you very much.
すごいありがたい。
That's amazing. Thank you guys.
Time to get comfy. Oh.
まあここからね、あと10年お互い健康に気をつけて楽しんでいきましょう。
But yeah, we're looking forward to the next 10 years. So yeah, let's all take care of our health and keep going. That's awesome.
で、2013年ですね、ベータテストをやりながら、2013年8月27日
I played the third beta,
に
the open
新生オー
beta,
ズ
and
が
I actually
正式
played
サー
the
ビス
day
開
the
始
original
することが
2.0
でき
came
ました
out. But then Warrior sucked so bad that I didn't
moving
play
on,
again until 2.5.
2013, we start our beta testing for A Realm Reborn, and then August 27 of the same year, we were able to relaunch as A Realm Reborn.
振り返るとですね、2011年の3月ぐらいから一気に新生14の設計だけ5人ぐらいで設計をスタートして、2011年の6月から6人のプログラマー
I did
が
not play
コードを
1.0
書き始めたのを覚えてる。
I had a friend of mine who kept trying to get me into it. I was like, that game looks like
実際そこから2年2ヶ月で
crap.
新生リリースしてるので、もうちょっと驚異的今振り返ると。
And looking back, it was 2011 in March. We started at least doing the framework, just the design structure first. And it was a very small team that worked on it. It was 5 people who started on the base framework. And then starting June of that same year, 2011, we had 6 programmers starting to write code. And considering it took about 2 years and 2 months to relaunch, that's just incredible.
Thank you.
で、念願だったですねファンフェスっていうのを2014年の10月からですね、スタートすることができました。今でも覚えてます。
And of course, by 2014, October, we were able to hold our very first fan festival. That was something that we really wanted to do.
初めてやった北米のファンフェスの基調公演でステージに上がった時の大歓声でですね、もう足が震えて
I still remember it today. The first
Well, I
time
started
we
playing
did our
very
fan
actively
festival,
somewhere
and
around
we started
here.
out in the North America region.
Actually,
and
you
when
can't
I
see my
took the
mouse. So
stage
somewhere
to do
around where my
keynote presentation, and just
animated self
the
is.
cheer that I received from the audience, man, my legs were shaking when I was up there.
で初の拡張であるヘブンズワード、2015年の6月にリリースして、その後の8月に、全世界累計登録者数が500万人を突破したと。
And then next, we were able to launch our first ever expansion pack, Heaven's Word, in 2015 June. And then soon after, we reached 5 million registered players.
Thank you. Why are you barking
この辺りは
directly
で
into
す
the
ね、我々
microphone?
開発チームもですね、
It's
こない
defeating the
こない
anti-dog
って
technology.
言われて、よしやっちゃうぞって言ってもうキリッキリなのをやったらですね、いや難しすぎんだろってなってですね、我々もいろいろな失敗を繰り返しつつですね、今につながってる本当重要な時期だったと思います、ここは。
But this is around the time when people were starting to clamor for higher difficult content, and the dev team got so excited about, oh yeah, you want difficult, and so we gave
Yeah,
you
then they hit us
really,
with
really
fucking
tough
Gordian.
content, and people started complaining now about, oh no, this is too difficult, Yoshida, this is too difficult, and so we were trying to find that balance. It was trial and error trying to get to that
Gordian
nice
was
balance.
way
But I think
too
It was really
hard.
important that we're making that conversation.
あれでね、僕は人生の格言の一つをね学んだんですよ。プレイヤーの皆さんには
A3S wasn't just hard, it was also kind of
ちょうどいいん
broken.
だなと。
And it was then that I learned this very valuable lesson, which is I think it's best to keep the difficulty where the players would walk out of it saying, that was pretty easy.
で、グレンドリベレーターを発売したのが2017年6月で、この辺りからようやくこうバトルコンテンツ以外の、そのもう14の世界に住むみたいなことをより具体化していけるようになったのがこのぐらいの時期で、それがね、功を奏してですね、登録者数が、この時点で1000万人突破と。
And then, of course, Stormblood released
Well,
in
they got a
2017
picture over there of
June,
Aimee
and
like
we
bowing,
started looking
and like the
at
other two are like
various
smiling, and she's like
other
this.
types of content aside from
They
battle
couldn't get a better
and
picture.
combat.
She deserves better.
Content that would involve the feeling of living in the world of Final Fantasy XIV, and I think that really struck a chord with people. People were resonating with it, which thankfully got us to our registered player number up to 14 million players.
思い出されるグレンドリベレーター初日のねラウバーン透滅戦
すごかったですね。
And I still remember when Stormblood first launched, Rauban Extreme in the Niners.
ありましたね。
And I think we all
I'm
remember
glad.
that.
I'm glad that
あの失敗
even
があ
the
ってね
devs
今
call
の
it Raubon
安定した
Extreme or
キューイン
Raubon
グシステムだっ
Savage.
たりするからね。
But I mean, even with that failure, we learned from it, and we were able to build a much better queuing system.
そしてですね2018年になると、全世界登録者数が1400万人を突破して、2019年には、1600万人を突破と。ありがとうございます。
So I'm sorry, this is where we hit 14 million is 2018 August. And then moving on, we reached 16 million players by 2019 May. So thank you so much for all the players that are staying with us.
そうして続けてですね2019年に、漆黒のヴィランズを発売しその年末にはですね全世界累計登録者数が1800万人を、突破とな
I
りま
wish
し
they would
た。
tell us the number of active subs.
And moving on, we released Shadowbringers in 2019. And soon after, we surpassed 18 million registered players.
数字に関して言うと、単純に数字だけをこう見ていくとそのなんていうの増えるペースっていうのがばらついてるように見えるのかもしれないんですけど実は体験したことのある人が増えれば増えるほど、新規が当然減るんですよね、パイが決まってるところから新しい人を呼ばなきゃいけないのでだからここまでの数字になってるのにさらに数百万増やしていくっていうこと自体はとてもすごいことでこれは本当ね、開発運営チームの努力もそうなんですけどマーケティング PR チームが、コミュニティの皆さんと一緒になって達成してきてる数字なので本当にこれはね誇らしい数字だと思ってます。
And looking at the numbers, it might seem like there's no real, like nothing of note. Oh yeah, the numbers are just increasing. But if you consider this, if we have a certain number of people already playing the game, and if we have a single pie that we're taking numbers out of, like you would expect the numbers to start going down, but it's interesting that we see more and more players join us even after all these years. We are seeing millions signing up. So, of course, I really want to acknowledge the development team, operations team, but also the marketing and PR teams working with the community to kind of promote the title and get the word out. So I'm very proud of their achievements.
そして2021年、去年ですね、12月2日にはですね全世界累計登録者数が2500万人を突破しちょっと昨日の数字とかは見てないですけどまだ全然まだ上がってってると思うので、で12月7日ですねすいません2週間ほどちょっと遅延をさせていただくことにはなってしまいましたが
July to December
行列のフィナーレを発売して、
5 million people
200編完結というところまでこぎつけてこられたなと。
Of course, 2021, which is last year, we surpassed 25 million registered players. I did not see yesterday's numbers or like as of yesterday's numbers, but I do
Doku
understand
says,
that
never heard
our
of an
numbers are
MMO
still
getting so popular
increasing.
they had to pull it off
And
the
then,
store because too many people were playing.
afterwards,
Till 14.
I
Actually,
know
World of
we had to
Warcraft had
delay
to do that
the
back
release
in
by about 2 weeks. Again, apologies for the delay, but we were able to
2005 with
release
the Christmas
Endwalker,
rush.
and finally we were able to conclude the overarching story of Heidelin and Zodiark.
まあ長かったようで僕は結構あっという間の11年でした。でも本当にね、世界中のプレイヤーの皆さん、光の選手の皆さん、メディアの皆さんもね、関係各社の皆さんにも本当にものすごくこんなに支えてもらうタイトルは他にないだろうと思うぐらい支えていただいてここまで来れたので、改めて本当に感謝をお伝えしたいと思います。ありがとうございます。
And it feels like a long time, but man, these 11 years went by very quickly for me. And all of our Warriors of Light, our players, members of the media, all of our supporting partner companies as well. There were just so many people that supported us throughout this all. So I do want to take this opportunity to convey my gratitude from the bottom of my heart. So I sincerely thank everybody.
はい。まあ、あとは本当ね、開発チームにも、本当に厳しいスケジュールでやってきてて、まあ、実は拡張パッケージそのものの開発期間って1年とか、下手すると1年切ってたりするんで、まあ、本当に頑張ってきてもらいました。
And I also want to acknowledge the development team as well. They were always working against a very harsh schedule, and even developing some of our expansion packs. Sometimes we have only about a year,
Yeah, I
or
agree,
even less
Jackie.
than a year to get through all
And
of the
Walker's
tasks
absolutely
that
the best
needed to
ending I
get
could have
done.
possibly
So
asked for.
I really want to show
There were a couple
my
moments
appreciation
that,
to
had I
them
not
as
been
well.
on camera, I would have done a
さて、
big
で
ugly
はこれ
cry.
を踏まえてですね、ここまで
The snot and
歩んできた
everything.
その11年、9番の状態を考えればこれ以上ないぐらいの成功をさせていただいたと思ってます。ここはあんまり言葉を隠さずに成功できてると思ってるので、それでいいと思ってるんですけど、まあここまではある意味もう過去になったので、ここからさらに次の10年また挑戦を続けていきたいと思います。
And looking at the trajectory here and the path we've walked down,
I'm not gonna ugly
I
cry
think
now.
I want to consider this a success from what we had taken, and what state it was in when we had first taken on the project, and to bring it to where it is now. I'm not ashamed to declare it. It might be a little awkward in the Japanese, but I believe it is a success, and I think it's a good thing that we've gotten here. But now that we have gotten this far, all of this is now in the past, and so we want to look to the future. We want to see what kind of challenges we can take on.
というわけで2つ目のセクションである14の
Hey,
新
this
し
is
い
a good
挑
part.
戦と題してですね、まあ、今後どういうことやっていくよというのをお伝えしていきたいと思います。
So, for the second part of this presentation, as you see, it is entitled Newfound Futures. So, I would like to discuss what we are intending to do.
まずですね、僕としてはですね、社長からやめろって言われるか、まあ、やめろって言われても抵抗するとは思うんですけど開発チーム運営チームからやめろって言われるか死ぬかぐらいの以外では14をやめる気がなく続けていきますんで、この先もぜひ皆さんよろしくお願いします。
And me personally, as Yoshida, unless the CEO
Hey, they have the
says
same layout
Yoshida,
as
you
me.
need to leave, and even then, I think I'm going to fight him. Or if like the development team, the operations team want to kick me out, or if I, God forbid, die. Those are the only extreme cases I would even consider leaving the 14 project. I want to continue working on Final Fantasy 14, so your continued support will definitely be appreciated.
というわけでですね、まず今回
Wow,
その
really?
10年さらにこう14をせっかくねここまで日本初のそのサービスでこの規模まで来れるってなかなかあることじゃないので、この先の10年に向けてまずは 7.0 をめがけて、新しいことに挑戦していこうと思ってます。
Of course, with this title, and considering that this game was launched from a Japanese development studio and being able to expand to this global scope, it's a rarity, I think. And so my next goal, my future goal, is now looking at 7.0 and leading up to that, what can we do?
コメントが
うん。
7.0 って言ったかで
大丈夫大丈夫。もうシナリオ会議の
Did you
1回目
say
やったから
7.0?
合宿やったから、
ああ
7.0 はやるよ。
People are already speculating about, oh no, 7.0 confirmed? Well, I mean, we are already talking about scenario for 7.0. I'm not afraid to say that we do intend on doing a 7.0.
まずここに向けてちょっとコンセプトを話をさせてもらいます。まずその一つ目がこちらになります。
That's
Now, that
incredibly
being said, I do
vague.
want to establish what my thinking is and the concept behind what we're trying to do leading up to 7.0. And this is the first point.
まあこれ具体的にどういうことっていうのはこの後ちゃんとお話ししようと思います。
And of course, I will go into detail as to what this exactly
They're
means.
saying, hey, in 7.0,
そして
we're
ですね
gonna make it better.
7.0 に向け
Seriously, look at the
て、
screen.
チャレンジとしてですね、こちら、
Told you,
第一次
fucking
グラフィック
idiot! Yeah, they'll never do it!
の準備
Yeah, they'll never do it!
いきます。
What?
And then next, again, leading up to 7.0, and one of the challenges that we want to take on is our first graphical update, at least the preparation and the development for it.
まあ、なんで第一次ってついてるかっていうのも後でねこの項目の掘り下げでちょっとお話ししようと思います。
And of course,
Told you.
When we dive into
I even
each
told
of
you
these
before
different points, I
Endwalker
will touch
came out
upon
that
why we are
7.0 would be
calling
the
this the
update.
first graphical update.
まあ一応先に言っとくコメントが結構多いんで7.0 で PS4 が遊べなくなるってことはないです、それはないのでお約束しておきます。
I do want to clarify though, because I am seeing a lot of comments wondering about this. This does not necessarily mean that we are ceasing the support for PS4 out
No,
of
they'll release a
7.0,
fucking
so
texture
I do
pack.
wanna
That's
clear
all the
that-
game
clear
needs.
that out first.
That's literally all the game
そしてですね
needs.
今日3つ目、せっかくなのでパッチ 6.x シリーズでどんなことをやっていくかというのもお知らせします。
And then the third point, I mean, since we are here, I would like to take the opportunity to cover what we are planning to do throughout the 6.x series as a sort of roadmap.
はい、では各項目、詳しくよりお伝えしていこうと思います。
Diving into the details.
まずコンセプトの一つ目ですね。一人でもみんなでも遊べる RPG へ、さらなる進化をしていきますと。
So our first concept, an even better RPG, alone or with friends.
What does that mean?
これ何かというとですね、
I'll hit the
4
trash
の
on
ごと
the
くなん
next
ですけ
slide
ど
when they're
その
explaining it.
ファイナルファンタジー14一応ジャンルとしては MMORPG って呼ばれてます。
So, I mean, it is what it says, of course, but yes, I understand that Final Fantasy XIV as a game genre would be categorized as an MMORPG.
そこでですね、僕この11年ファイナルファンタジー14をやってきて世界中のプレイヤーの皆さんとイベントだったりファンフェスも含めてですけど本当たくさんのゲーマーの人たちと話をしてきました。
And of course, throughout the 11 years of doing Final Fantasy XIV, we did various events, gaming events, including Fan Festival, and I had the opportunity to speak with the different gamers.
そこでですね、あとそのマーケティングチームに市場調査とかをしてもらって、これね定期的に拡張のたびにやってるんですけど、やっぱりそこで出てくる答えっていうのが、なかなかブレイクスルーできないなっていうのがあったりします。
And of course, I would have my marketing teams perform market research as well. And this is something we regularly do when we start to plan for upcoming expansion packs. And with the information that we receive, and there's always like a question that we never seem to find a way to break through.
2つあって、1つはファイナルファンタジーシリーズ大好きなんだよ、すごいファンなんだ、全部やってるよ、ただし11と14以外ねっていうのがめちゃくちゃ悔しい。
So there's actually two, and one of them is we see there's a lot of players that love Final Fantasy, and many that claim they've played all of the Final Fantasies except for 11 and 14, which is very frustrating.
まあ、11もね今かなりアップデートをかけてかなり大部分ねソロで遊べるように快適にしてますが14はさらにその先へ行きたいと思ってます。
And of course, we are paying attention to Final Fantasy 11 players as well, and we've made various updates. I think it has become very solo friendly.
Did I literally miss
recently,
anything?
But with Final Fantasy 14, we want to go beyond that.
あとはこうもう
We're
一つ
still
は
on
で
this
すね
fucking slide. So
オン
what
ラ
I
インなんだ
no
よね
great. That's what I
めん
thought.
どくさい
Thank
人と
you.
遊ぶの嫌なんかこう人間関係作るの嫌っていうのがですねやっぱりナンバーワンなんですよねそのプレイを
Had
し
to
な
be
い
a
理由
big
っていう
man.
ところで
Change the trash.
The
I'm a
second
big
point
man.
we are trying to reach a breakthrough is people who comment about, oh, online play, I don't want to deal with having to play with other people. I don't want to develop relationships online. And
They just need to put trusts in
actually
the
a very
old
large reason, if
dungeons
not the
and they're
number one
done.
reason many players kind of hesitate playing 14.
だから10年かけて MMORPG っていうジャンルじゃなくて一人でもみんなでも遊べる RPG っていうジャンルにしたいと14を
So what I want to do here is spend the next 10 years and break out of that MMORPG category. I want this to be an RPG that can be enjoyed alone or with friends.
まずなので、
Just put-
7.0 でまでの間
Do I know what I'm talking about or what?
大規模アップデートっていうのをやっていき
Do
ます。
I know what I'm talking about or what?
So as a lead up to 7.0 or until that time, we will continue to make updates to the trust system.
パッチ 6.1 から 6.5 までの5つのメジャーパッチで全メインクエストの必須 ID と4人用の透滅戦を全てフェイス対応します。
So as it says here, trust compatibility for all main scenario dungeons
Goodbye,
and
main scenario roulette.
trials to be added in patch 6.1 through 6.5.
まあ順次なのでね、パッチ例えば 6.2 とかを見ると中途半端なところまでしか対応されてないとかいうことがある可能性は高いんですけどそれにね怯えているといつまで経ってもできないので全部一気には不可能なのでもうなのでこの 6.1 から 6.5 つまり 7.0 までの間を次に飛び上がるためにもうどんどん順次やっていくという期間に当てさせてください。
My intention.
And so, of
Paige,
course,
you're so
these are going
sweet.
to be incremental
Thank you.
implementation.
Well, why are you
And so you
there?
might look
Why are
at,
you
say,
alive?
patch 2 point something and 6.2.
Oh,
and
sorry,
you
you're
might
very
notice
kind, thank
that
you.
maybe not all of the dungeons have
See, you
been
thank a woman,
supported
they
with
just
a
be a
trust
bitch about it.
system
Never thank a
compatibility.
woman,
But
ever.
if we are afraid to
Just stare at them like this.
to make progress and be just in
Oh,
the
she's
middle
gonna
of
stab
work in
me.
a certain
Oh, no,
major
worse,
patch
the
update,
wooden spoon.
we won't
Ah.
be able to make
Wait, that's not a
progress.
spoon, that's
I
a
think
spatula.
it's impossible to do everything at once. So we
Oh.
are trying to address this as we can, and we're looking at
So
this
I'm going to
as a
eat chili in the
preparation for
background. I'm going to save you
7.0,
from my
and
mouth
so we would
noises
like
with
to
dog
ask for
technology.
your
We're going to
understanding
test it
as
now.
we lay these foundations.
その第一弾となるパッチ 6.1 では申請
Oh, that's probably
や
too much.
編のうち、2.0 範囲を全て対応します。
Wow,
So
MSQ
the
Roulette
first
is leaving
implementation,
right now.
Patch 6.1 will make a Realm Reborn, and this is just patch 2.0 range, and the scenarios
Oh,
duty
no!
become trust compatible.
そ
Are we
して
still
で
going
す
to get
ね
Cape Westwind?
それに伴って一部初期のですねメインクエスト ID とか、透滅戦もリニューアルします。
And then further improvements will be made to some low-level main scenario dungeons and trials.
でちょっと注意なん
You
で
know
すけど
what dungeon's gonna be really
想
genuinely
定の石ワー
dramatically
ルドに
improved by
入って
this?
からの8人透滅戦ストーリー上に出てくる
Tamtara.
あれらはちょっとやっぱりコストを全面積もりしたんですけど
Imagine running
ど
it
うしても
with
こう
a bear
6.1 から 6.5 までの期間では対応しきれないので、8人の透滅戦に関しては 7.0 以降順次対応していくつもりです。
This is good chili.
You may see the disclaimers on the bottom, but for the 8-player
I know,
trials,
yeah.
especially those with the Heaven's Word expansion. I'm afraid we are unable to update it at this time. We tried to calculate all the cost and the resources that it would take for us to address all of this within that sort of 6.1 through 6.5 timing, but I'm afraid we would be unable to allocate the resources for it. So we will get to it after 7.0. Yeah, these updates will be considered for 7.0 or later.
まあもちろん皆さんご存知の通り、その通常のねマッチングがなくなるわけじゃないので、あくまでストーリーを一人で進めていきたいっていう人のための機能なので、レベリングルーレットだったりね、マッチングっていうところはそのまま継続していくので、そこはご承知おきください。
And of course, we don't intend to do away with the regular matching systems. Your leveling dungeons and queue matching in duty finders will still be active and available. These trust compatibility is primarily for those who have a strong desire to play through these story dungeons on their own.
で、ですね、8人透滅戦は今回行月のフィナーレでハイデリン透滅戦でテストケースとしても含めてやったんですけど、やれることはなんだろう確証を得られたんですけど、まあ、相当やっぱりコストがかかるっていうのと、ギミックから調整していかないといけないっていうこともあって、まずは数の多い ID から優先させていただいてます。あとはね8人なんで責任半のかかり方がちょっと減るんでやっぱり。まあここは逆にマッチングの面白さみたいなところも味わってもらいたいので、一旦7.0 以降にさせてください。
And of course, with these 8 people trials or 8-person battles, we did try it out with the Mother Crystal trial, and we were able to see success as like a test case, but it did require a lot of resources for us to build it. And then if we were to start applying that system to existing dungeons, we'd have to adjust the mechanics so that it would accommodate for the trust system. So at this time, we made the decision to move forward with just the instanced dungeons. And with an 8-person trial, I think that sort of reduces the responsibility per person going into the match, hopefully. So we're hoping that players would still jump into like a duty finder and hopefully get the enjoyment out of matching up with random people. So at this time, we are unable to address it within the 6.1 through 6.5 period, but we are looking to it for 7.0 or later.
でちょっと注意なんですけど、はい、まあどうしてもフェイスっていう呼び方をすると、暁といけんのかなとか名のある NPC といけんのかなってイメージがちょっと強いと思うんですけど、ストーリー上こうそのマッチングでしかいけないからこそ、じゃあ俺は他のことをやってくるみたいなのでこうみんなちょっといなくなったりとかしてたと思うんですよ。あれまで全部変えるはさすがに無理なので特に序盤とかは冒険者ギルドのメンバーだったりとか、暁の光のなんだろうこう光の加護を持っているであろう他のメンバーみたいなイメージで組むケースが多いです。
Looks like MSQ roulette is safe for now.
And I want to make another point of caution here. Whenever we say trust compatibility, I think the thought that, oh, can we go into this dungeon with members of the Scions or any sort of named NPCs? And some of these story dungeons have key players kind of leaving the scene, like where the Warrior of Light goes into a dungeon and say somebody goes up and say, oh, I'm going to take care of matters over there. We can't have them come back just to join you in the dungeon. So in those cases, especially the earlier dungeons, you will see your trust members as like members from the Adventurers Guild or maybe other people who have the Echo accompany you in these dungeons.
ただまあキーになるストーリー上のキーになるポイントで、まあこいつはやっぱり本当はダンジョン一緒に行ってほしかったなってプレイヤーの皆さんが思ってるようなポイントは シナリオ一部カットシーンも含めてちょっと変更してでもできるだけそれにまあ添えるようにやっぱニーズヘックと対峙するときはエスニアンも言って欲しかったなみたいなやつはできる限りそういうシチュエーションはなんとか対応していこうと思ってるので。
There's something hilarious about Paige making herself food in the background, and the dog is just screaming at her because she won't give him her food.
But that being said, there are certain key points in
Like
the
he's
story
dying.
where we
No,
do
that can't
understand players might have a very strong desire to have particular NPCs accompany you
That's why
in
they
a
can't hear you.
dungeon. So in
No, I'm
some
saying I can
extreme
hear you.
cases, not extreme cases, but like some key points, the team will make some adjustments. We may have to change a part of the script so that it'll make sense for the character to join you. An example I can come up with off the top of my head is probably the Nidhogg battle. I'm sure a lot of people would have thought like, oh, it would have been nice to have Estinian join as part of the Trust NPC. So we're considering having that available. So there may be some content that accommodates for certain NPCs to join you. I'm afraid we can't address all of them. We can't make it happen with all of the dungeons. So your understanding on that would be appreciated.
そしてですね、ごめんねちょっと長くて、6.1 特集パート1の時にまた詳しくお話ししようと思いますが、新生オルゼアの後半って結構今のレギュレーションと違ってしまってるこうダンジョンとかが多いので、かなり手が入ってますいろいろ。
And of course, with the details of 6.1, we will have a dedicated live letter for that, and I will delve into details at that time. But I do want to mention that much of the content, especially in the later half of ARR,
Telling you right now, if they talk about the graphic thing today, the graphic thing is going to be
there
that
are changes that have been made.
they're going to use that AI upscaling technology.
トトラクとかの、ドゥーンってなって
Telling you.
ヘビースローがかかるヘビーがかかる床とかなくなってます。
For example, like when you go into the 1,000 Miles of Totorak, and you step
There
on
isn't
those,
enough
like,
time in the
prison
world
floors
to
and all of a
redo
sudden
every
you
single
are,
texture in the fucking game,
hit
guys.
with heavy or slow, we're actually getting rid of that.
あとはちょっと
The trick is to have the AI upscale done first and then have somebody clean it up.
とかいうところのダンジョンもちょっと絵的な調整もそれなりにやってます。
And there are also some aesthetical changes that we wanted to make. There were certain areas of the earlier part of FF14 when we were trying to quickly just relaunch as a Realm Reborn. So there were areas where lighting may not have been 100% to what we would have been satisfied with. So we went back in and adjusted those as well.
そしてですね、まあ他にもですね。
Did I talk over the Totorak stuff? If so, fuck
8
yeah.
人パーティーバトルの一番最初であるビットアッティン教習戦なんですけど、なくなります。
And then one of the first 8-person party battles that you encounter, I believe, is Camp Westwind. And I want to mention that we are doing away with that.
皆さん大ショックを受けておられますね。People are getting
No!
帝国の盾としてね、武人として身を挺してやってきたね、帝国将軍の一人、まあ将軍ではないけど正しくは8人でフルボッコはいかがなものかということでですね、
はい、
ちゃんとコストをかけてですね、クエストインスタンスバトルとして、生まれ変わりますので。
Considering Litatine is like the shield of the Garland Empire. I mean, he's technically not a captain, but like, I mean, he's like a very prominent figure. I think it would be very humiliating for 8 people to come in and just beat him up. So we actually allocated the resources to rebuild that battle so that it's going to be a quest instanced battle.
It's gonna be a solo trial. Yeah, okay.
まあ他にも内閣外閣と呼ばれている8人ダンジョン、あれらもですね、今回すべて4人用 ID に作り直してあります。
And then, of course, the Praetorium and the Castrum Sorry, I can't pronounce it. Meridianum. Those very long Guardian bases that you need to go. They were originally 8-person content, but we are going to be changing it so that these are 4-person instanced dungeons.
I have a green.
なのでアルテマウェポン戦も切り出して4人用として
MSQ Roulette is dead!
であとラハブレアが憑依したサンクレットさんを8人でただひたすら無言で殴るっていうのもストーリー用のクエストインスタンスバトルとして作り直してるので
大工事ですね。
はい。
And so your battle with Ultima, or the Ultima weapon, will be changed to a 4-person battle. We are adjusting the scenario mode for that. And then where you go in and silently beat up La Habrea, aka Thancred being possessed by La Habrea, is also going to be adjusted so that it's like an instance during a story quest.
というわけで、まあそんな風にコストもですね、レギュレーション今のプレイフィールにできるだけ近づけられるように、いろんな改修をしつつですね、パッチ 6.1 から 6.5 にかけて、4.x までの ID ですね、全部対応していこうと思いますので、よろしくお願いします。
So, yeah, in a nutshell, we are going in and making many adjustments so that it fits with kind of follows suit better with how the game feels at this time. So throughout patch 6.1 through 6.5, we will be looking at the various content up to the 4.x series, the different instance dungeon to make adjustments.
さあ、ではこのセクション以上で次へ行きたいと思います。
Okay, so moving on to the next section.
2つ目の新しい挑戦ですね。この、
6.1
から 6.5 までの期間、まあ 7.0 リリースまでの期間を使ってですね、
I told you all! I've been saying this for
まあ、初期
years!
やっていく上で第一次のグラフィッ
I've
ク
been
ス
saying it was gonna come next expansion for
裏で
years!
作業させていただきます。
I'm
So
so
our
fucking
second
smart!
concept, and again, this is going to be the preparation that we will be doing throughout patch 6.1 through 6.5, leading up to the launch of 7.0. It is a long-term, or like preparations for long-term operation of the game, and we want to be doing this in the background, but we'll be preparing for our first graphics update.
ただ、まあ、なぜ第
No,
一
I've been
次グラフィ
saying
ッ
the
クスアップデー
expansion
トに
after
っていう
Endwalker
かっていう
Third
と
Wells,
まあ
since like
2時
a
も
year
3時も
before
あるんだろ
Endwalker
う
came
も
out.
しかしたらってことなんですけど、
Actually, a year before Shadowbringers came
11
out.
年運営してきてると、もう尋常じゃないリソース、グラフィックスアセットが存在してます。はい。
So the reason why we named this the first graphical update, and that's of course to imply that there will probably a second and or third after this, but our game has been in operation for about 11 years, and considering all the graphical assets we have produced, it's an insane amount.
やっぱり一気に極限まで上げようとすると、絶対コンバートミスがあったりとか、そもそもコンバートの物理時間が足りなくて、もうデザインチームが無理です絶対できませんっていう答えになってしまうので、まあやれることを一回やって引き上げたら、またその状態で安定が見えたら次のをやってっていう形で、まあその第1回目が来るんだというふうに思ってください。
And so if we attempted to update every single piece of graphical asset or resource that we've put into the game all at the same time, we might run into issues of conversion errors, or it's just physically takes a lot of time to convert everything.
Yeah.
And consulting with the graphics team, they already know that we can't address everything all at the same time. And so what we're trying to do is address these in phases so that we can test out certain elements, see how they work, and
Character models first,
stable,
come
we
on.
move into the next phase. And so I think with our first graphical update, this will be like the first time we start testing some of these elements.
4K グレープスでめっちゃ吹いたんだけど
I saw a comment that says 4K grapes. Thank you so much for that. That is hilarious.
あそこに 4K とかねなんか40万ポリゴンとかかけてるとそれこそ Q14 みたいにキャラクター全然表示できねえぞってことになっちゃうのでまあちょっとこれから詳しく説明はしますよ。
That's hilarious, but like imagine spending so much resources just to get the grapes to be 4K resolution, and imagine spending 400,000 polygons just to depict a piece of fruit. We won't have enough resources to render our characters on screen. But let me go into the details.
そのグラフィックスアップデートは一気に、7.0 での投入を予定してます。
So again, these graphical updates are intended to be implemented in 7.0.
まあその次期拡張パッケージまでの間っていうのを、まあ、僕らのそのグラフィックスのアップデートのシェーダー追加したりとか、いろんなものを追加していくテスト期間だったりプログラム期間だったりそれに合わせたグラフィックスアセットのコンバート期間というふうにさせてください。
So until 7.0, this will be, again, our preparation period. So this is where our team will be testing out various additions to the graphical elements, including different shaders. We'll probably need to write more programs. This is where when we're going to be doing our asset conversions, etc.
でここが重要なんですけど、あくまでやっぱりマルチプレイのゲームであるっていうのをぜひ覚えておいてほしくて、やっぱり画面全体の美しさ9番から申請した時に感じていただいたようにやっぱり総合的な美しさ世界の美しさっていうのを追求していきますよとコンセプトとしてはね。
And of course, one key point that we want players to understand is that this is still a multiplayer game, and so we want to strive for the aesthetic quality of the overall picture and looking at the sort of beauty or the element, aesthetically pleasing sort of overall picture.
だってこうまさにね発売されたホライゾンのさクオリティでさ動くと思われたら困るわけだよあれで俺たち300人とか描画しなきゃいけないんでいやできはするんだけどみんなの PC 動かないよ。確かに。
And I see games like Horizon Forbidden West, and I don't want to get people to think that we'll raise our graphic quality to that. It's amazing, yes, but imagine having to
they're tempering expectations. Like they'll clean up effects, they'll add new anti-aliasing, they'll
it's not physically impossible,
improve,
but then I don't think it's going to run on anybody's
textures,
PC.
But guys, remember, it's still a fucking MMO.
So please keep that in mind.
ここをねなんか勘違いされるのが一番怖い。
That's the scariest thing for people to kind of misconstrue.
で、当然なんですけどアニメーションとか、まあその世界全体画面全体の美しさっていうところにやっぱりアニメーションとかライティングシステムっていうのも大きく寄与していると思うのでこの辺りもアップデートしていきます。
And of course, considering the sort of overall aesthetic, animation is going to be a key element we're looking at. Lighting is another element that we want to adjust as well.
まあ例えばアニメーションに使っている、よくねメモリがって言われますけど、メモリの割り当てをちょっと増やすことによって今までより長尺のこうエモートモーションが作れるとかあとまあそのライトの数が増えることで実は潰れていたバックグラウンドのディティールがより見えてきて、リソースに手を加えなくても綺麗に見えるみたいなところもあるんで。
So what we mean by different updates to animation and lighting systems is, for example, I know people would automatically start talking about, oh yeah, memory issues with animation. So if we revisit some of the allocation.
Paige, why are you starving him?
For animation, it
the
might
dog
allow
is
us
literally
to create
sitting next to
emotes
Paige
with a
who's
longer
chopping
animation
starfruit,
loop,
and he's just wailing like he's being beaten
with lighting.
with a stick.
They're just
'cause she won't
having
give him
more lights than we had originally set up would allow for details that would have been sort of
literally just ate
washed
a bunch
out
of
or like
meat
not visible
and
because
some
of
treats.
insufficient lighting to kind of show up, and so that will allow for an improvement in the graphical quality without us even having
Winter
to
Titan says your child is
adjust
spoiled.
the elements that are
We got a
already
piece
in
of
game.
advice before we got a bulldog, which is before you get a bulldog, start talking to rocks because it'll prepare you for what it's like.
これをですね、皆さん頭にすり込むためにもですね、寝る前に必ず一度復唱していただきたいぐらい。
And again, very important point. I want to stress again: the new graphics will not be comparable to those.
Yes, it's accurate.
Of
I've never
standalone
encountered
titles.
a more
This is,
stubborn
again,
breed
very
of dog
important.
ever
I
in my
want you
life.
to remember it. I want you to repeat it before you go to bed. That's how much I want people to remember.
まあとはいえやっぱりグラフィックスいろいろ手を入れてパフォーマンスというかね処理はより動作が重くなりはするので 7.0 では最低動作保証スペックの条件が、まあ、変わるのは確定です、はい、ただできるだけ多くのスペックにね対応できるっていうところはこれまでのポリシーでもあるので、捨てずにやっていきたいと思ってます、
Like at one point, Zangief got a little fat, so he cut his
that being
food.
said,
And boy,
we do want to update the graphics for sure, and so that means
he did not like
your processor might require more power in order to render these graphics properly or like efficiently. So we will probably have to update the system.
What's the worst case scenario for new graphics? People don't like the way the
machines and your
textures look on their
PCs.
new characters because it's different.
We will try our best to accommodate for as many.
But they're
models
literally
of
going to be just
machines,
adding
to
graphical
accommodate with the
effects,
changes, but,
reflections, etc.
we do want to
maybe good
make you
anti-aliasing.
aware
That would be nice.
It is pretty much guaranteed that we will have to update the system.
There might be a couple
requirements.
textures that are just fucked
や
up.
っぱり気になるプレイステーション4なんですけど、この7
Honestly, that's all it needs. It needs better dedicated anti-aliasing.
すると思いますけど PS4 版の最
Kick
適
up
化を
a few of the effects, and it needs textures that are bigger than
I
512
know
times
people are wondering
512.
about PlayStation 4 support as of 7.0. I think what's going to happen, and this will probably be done prior to the launch of 7.0,
Yeah, you'll get a free
so
Fantasia,
sometime
I
within the
assume.
6.x series. We do want to optimize the PS4 version for sure.
でさらにですねまあ PC 版にあるようにグラフィックスオプションのカスタムっていうの PS4 版少ないんですけど、あれを増やしてですね新しいその描画とか入れるとやっぱ重くなる部分があるので重くても綺麗でいいやっていう人はオンにしてもらえばいいんだけど、まあ、オフにしてそのフレームレートを優先するみたいなことができるようにしていくので PS4 のサポートっていうのも少なくとも 7.0 のタイミングではしっかりやりますので。
So, and on top of that, there are various graphical configurations that you can set up on the PC version. Like you can customize some of the like display options, and we understand that it's a bit lacking in the PS4 version. So we do want to implement options in the configuration so that you can select like prioritize frame rate, or if you want to, if you're okay with performance kind of dropping slightly, but still have the graphics performance, then you can select that option, whatnot. So I do want to assure you that we will continue supporting for PS4 at least until 7.0.
Oh,
Is that real?
みんなどう思うんだろうこれ。
What people's reactions are.
Mm. 俺かと思ったって言ってる。
Some people think, oh, is that me?
そうそうそう。なんかさ、
I don't know about
多分
that.
ね、これじゃないよね、多分みんな。
That's crazy.
I don't think this is what we are looking for. This is not what we would desire.
Oh my god, they're putting it out as a
疲れた
joke.
吉田って書かれてる。
Some people are saying this looks like a very tired Yoshida.
そう、なんか違うでし
These
ょ。
fucking... Oh my god.
It kind of does feel awkward.
This is literally... This is literally them making fun of Hire This Man.
So we aren't going to be working to make it look this real.
まあいわゆるフォトリアルを追求していくとグラフィックスアップデートってこっちに行きがちなんですけど、おそらくファイナルファンタジー14の世界やキャラクターが気に入ってくださってる方多分こっちを求めてはいないと思ってます。
And some games, of course, their intent is to lean towards that photorealistic depiction, and people tend to lean in this direction. But I think for those who enjoy the aesthetic of Final Fantasy XIV, this is not necessarily what we want to begin with.
That image is going to be the biggest fucking meme.
今そのグラフィックスアップデートって実はテスト開発もスタートさせてるんですけど、テストスタートしてからまだ1ヶ月と1週間ぐらいなんですね。
So with these graphical updates, we are already starting testing actually, and it's been about a month and a week.
なのでその1ヶ月と1週間ぐらいテストをして、まあこれだったらもう今出してもまあいけるだろうここまではと。まあこれ以上を目指すんだけど、まあ少なくとも一旦お見せしてもここまでは間違いなく大丈夫だよあると 7.0 でっていうのを用意してきたんでちょっと見ていきましょうか。
And so we are still very early in our testing stages, again, about a month or so testing, but we do have results that we're seeing that is, of course, we're going to aim higher than what we're going to be showing you, but I think it's coming out.
Oh, they're actually going to show us.
And we are relatively confident. So let us show you some of these images.
I'm shocked.
こちらがですねテスト期間1ヶ月目の
That's
サンプル
way
です。キャラ
better.
クターですねまず。
So from first month of testing, so this is one of the samples.
これ左が今で、右がテクスチャーをハイ
That's
レゾリューション
way
化してます
better than I would have
髪の毛も含めて
expected.
で
Hey,
あとシェー
Paige,
ダーを
check this
一枚
out.
入れてます。
Next expansion, they're
And
going
so
to
what you're
update the
seeing is the
graphics.
current image on the left, and then on the right,
Isn't
we've
that
made
nuts?
the textures high resolution, and we've added a layer of shaders.
あと、セルフシャドウって言って自分の髪の毛の影
They need to
が
add
顔に
more
落ちた時
faces.
まあその自分のオブジェクトが自分に影を落とすのをセルフシャドウって言うんですけど、そこも調整してるので、結構ね、セルフシャドウ実はすごい気になってて
They need
カットシーンとかでも
to add 10 more faces.
And one thing that we did pay attention to was the self shadow, or whenever there's like an object that drops a shadow on yourself, especially if you look at the bangs and the shadow it casts underneath it. That was something that I wanted to address, looking at the cutscenes in the past.
でまあこれ1ヶ月目のサンプルなのでもっと上目指せるとは思ってるんですけど、動作保証あまりにも重くならないっていう意味では、今言った
You can still see the neck seam.
まあこの上さらにいろんなことをやった上で最適化してい
Look
て
at the guy's neck on the right. You can still see the neck
より
seam.
高いところは目指していこうかなと思ってます。
So of course we do want to strive for even better, but at this time I think from 1 month of testing and making sure that the game itself runs properly, I think this is what we can show at this time, and then we'll continue to test and we'll continue to sort of improve and then apply
That looks
optimization.
way better.
まあいわゆるヒロシと呼ばれてる彼でやるとこんな感じです。
Of course, our Derplander.
That is a
It's a pretty
dramatic
good
and
sample
nice
this.
and clean improvement.
Here's a sample of the Mikote.
まあ戦月賞のボケ具合が、まあなくなったりですね。髪
While
の毛の
still
柔ら
using
かい
the
その
same
カールの印象
same
とかちゃんと
core
出てると
assets
まあセルフシャ
for
ド
a
ウ
lot
は
of
受けて
it.
ないんでね、綺麗にかかるようになります。
Of course, you may notice the face paint. The war paint is a lot crisper now. And then, as mentioned earlier, self shadow is nicer. I think it's brings out the softness of her face.
まあこれがだいたい1ヶ月目だっていうのをぜひ認識しておいてください。
Oh no! Am I going back to
Again, just to remind you,
row?
this is after testing for about a month.
Look how tired he looks! He looks so tired!
はいまあこの方向性で良さそうよね、やっぱりね。みんなのコメント見ていると。
looking at everybody's comments, it seems like we are on the right track in terms of like the direction we want to take it to.
そうですね。Yeah, it looked like
でララフェルがね一番難しいんですよ。
And
I
the
can't tell much
logo
of a
was actually
difference.
quite
Although
challenging.
the hair stippling being gone is a
なんか
genuine
リアルに
improvement.
するところがなくて
There no areas
So yeah,
really
it's
to make
amazing
it
what you can get away with
quote-unquote
with
realistic,
just
you know?
textures and a shader.
まあでも髪の毛綺麗になって、目の周りはものすごく鮮明になって、まあキャラメイクしておけばねもちろんいろんなパターン作れるとは思うんですけど。
But I think the hair has definitely gotten more defined, and then the eyes.
I hate the hair
has become
stippling.
very crisp.
I can't
and
stand
it. Looks a lot more alive, so to speak. And with being able to character create, I think it'll have like it will allow for players for a broad range.
そうね、肌の感じをどこまでそのなんだろう本当にツルツルにする
Hair
のかな。
stippling, if you look at the
こう
parts
少し
on the
そうは言って
left,
もちゃんと
you notice
肌
that
っていう
there's
感じを出す
little
のが
lines
結構ね
going
調整
horizontal
が難し
because
い
the
ところだと
texture's
は思
being
っているので、
stretched.
ただ皆さんが求めてるであろう方向性は理解してるつもりなので、しっかり種族ごとにですね調整しながらいきたいなと思ってます。
And it's still a challenge to figure out how do we depict the surface of their skin. Like, do we make it completely like flawless, spotless, or do we actually give it some texture to make it look like skin? We want to believe that we understand.
They're not
what
going to increase the
players are
polygon
looking
count.
for, but
Textures and shader is like a
something
very
that we still
small
need to
performance
kind of
hit for
explore.
an extremely
な
large
んて言った
visual
ってね、
impact.
11年も皆さんと一緒にこのゲーム
Because
を
as
作って
long
き
as
て
the
るん
video
です
card
ので、
can load all the
皆さんの
textures
こ
into
のゲームは
memory,
理解し
it
ていくつ
doesn't
も
make
り
any
では
fucking
あります
difference.
はい。
But again, we've been with you guys for about 11 years at this time, so we want to believe that we understand what the players are looking for.
ですいませんちょっとテスト1ヶ月目ということでですねキャラクターサンプルとしては以上になります、またなんだろう途中でねファンフェスのタイミングとかあればまた途中経過とかね、お知らせしていけたらなと思ってます。
So yeah, because we are still in the early stages of testing, as for character samples, that is all that we have at this time. We're hoping that we can continue to update everybody on the status. Perhaps maybe next time we can do it at like a fan festival or something like that.
じゃあ改めてですねそのキャラクターまずそのグラフィックス第一次グラフィックスアップデートでキャラクターに関する表現のアップデート項目をお知らせしておきます。
Okay, so just wanted to recap all of the different elements that we look to update for our first set of graphical updates in terms of characters.
まずですね全体的にテクスチャーを高解像度にしていきます。髪とか肌とかそれから今日ちょっとねご紹介できてないですけど装備品のテクスチャーの解像度も上げていきます。
So first one would be higher resolution textures, which includes hair, skin, and we weren't able to show any examples today, but we do want to improve the textures of the gear as well.
でさらにですねこれはシェーダーと呼ばれる、処理になってくるんですけど質感の表現というのを向上させていきます。例えば肌、それから装備品の金属部分あと布って、布用のシェーダーっていうのが実はあって、FF14 では入れてたんですけど重すぎて外してるんですね。そろそろいけるだろうということで布がもう少し滑らかに布っぽく見えるっていうシェーダーなどを今、研究トライしているところです。
And then the next item, and this is relating to various shader processing, which is improved material qualities, of course, skin, metal, and fabric. It's interesting because in the 1.0 or like the old version of Final Fantasy 14, there was a shader or like a process that was just applied to fabric so that it would look the texture quality would look like fabric, but it was too heavy of a load on processing, so we had to remove it in the relaunch. But we're testing various ways to see if we can apply something like that to make Fabric a bit more, well, smoother and more Fabric-like. And we're still kind of researching and trying out various methods.
そしてですね、キャラクターに対してのライティングとシャドウの強化というのもやっていきます。特にね、見栄えに直結しやすいセルフシャドウ
It's
に関
not
して
going
は
to be
すごく
applied
ずっ
to
と気
old
になってたんで。
NPCs right away. It'll be just us.
And then again, lighting and shadow, better lighting and shadow effects, especially for the player's shadows.
That's going to be awkward.
まあさっきもお話しましたけど、できるだけプレイヤーの皆さんの今のキャラクターに持ってるイメージっていうのが変わらないように、綺麗になったな俺のキャラって思ってもらえるようにしていきたいと思ってます。
Of course, again, our goal is to make it so that the overall appearance of player characters will be altered as little as possible. We want you guys to see the graphical updates and think, oh wow, my character's become pretty.
で注意点が2つあって、
You'll know the important
ま
characters
ず
like
一
it's
つ
a
装備品
Yakuza game. Oh
信
my
じられな
god,
い
you're
数の
totally
セ
right.
ットがあるので、あれを 7.0 までに全部コンバートするのは不可能です。
So
Like you'll meet a Stydian and you'll be like, wow, Stydian, you
we mentioned
must
about
be
updating the
important.
material quality of gear, but you know, there's an incredible, unbelievable amount of gear available for all of our player characters, and considering we'd have to convert them all, we will not be able to get through converting all of the gear.
So do you hear
by
the way they
7.0
keep saying
timing.
convert?
なので
That screams to
7.0
me
で新しく実装されている装備っていうの
that
は
they're using the
全て今
AI
回の
upscaling.
グラフィックスアップデートを経た内容で作っていきます。なのでクオリティがより高いもので全部用意するつもりです。
So any gear that is implemented
They're not saying
from
update, they're saying
7.0
convert.
will have gone through the process of the updated graphics. So of course those will be of the higher quality.
ただし、できる限りプレイヤーの皆さんがミラプリとかをしておしゃれによく使っているものに関してはちょっと優先的にできる限り対応をして、またパッチ 7.x シリーズで徐々にその古い装備っていうのも新しい仕様に少しずつ対応していけるようにっていうふうに思ってますので、ちょっと数年がかりで全体が上がっていくことにはなるかと思いますが、よろしくお願いします。
But we understand that there are certain glamours that people use often, so we want to look at those and try to get those done with a higher priority in terms of like which to get to. And throughout the 7.x
That's right, the
series
2-beat
is
thigh
when we
highs,
will
top
address
the
the rest
list.
of the previous equipment or gear. So I'm afraid it will take at least a few years to address all of the different textures.
So what they're going to
Yeah,
probably
the
do
NPCs.
is have
今回ね、
all
プレイヤー
of the
の
next
キャラクター
expansion
みんな
and
クオリ
Endwalker
ティアップするじゃ
stuff
ん。
done. Or sorry, and Realm Reborn stuff done by 7.0, and then Heavensward and Stormblood, and then Shadowbringers.
The other thing are the NPCs. I know we talked about updating the player characters and the graphics on those, but I'm afraid we're not going to be able to address all of the NPCs by 7.0.
申し訳ないんだが、クオリティの高くなった NPC とまだなんて順番が回ってこない NPC っていうのが出てしまうと思うんですけど、ちょっとそれも許していただけると助かります。
So I'm terribly sorry to say this, but you may start seeing NPCs that have gone through the graphical updates and those that have not gone through the updates. But please, your understanding would be appreciated.
Oh, okay, so it is going to be the Yakuza thing. You're going to meet a Stydian, you're going to be like, wow, you're important, and he'll be standing next to bumfuck whatever from the Knights, and he'll be like a fucking PS2 character.
承認していかないといつまで経ってもできないと思ってるので、ちょっと許していただけると。なのでちょっとイルベルドはまだ後でいいかみたいな。
And if I were to tell my team that, okay, we need to do everything then people are just gonna throw in the towel and be like, no, this is impossible.
If there's a single
So
character they have to do from
I'm afraid
Stormblood,
there
it's
will be
Hien.
times at which not all of the NPCs will have gone through their graphical updates, and it might look a little disoriented or disjointed.
Hien's coat is
but
unbelievably bad.
If I don't allow for that to happen, we won't be able to get to it. So again, if you could forgive us for going through that, that would be appreciated. Like,
Crystal Exarch too, you're
might
right, but they don't
not
sell
get his
Crystal
graphical update
Exarch's
as quickly
fucking
as maybe, like,
clothes
the
on the
Sultana,
Mog
but-
Station.
テレジアデレジはっていうお声が結構あるんですよ。ただですね、残念な、なんとテレジア
Not
デレジっ
yet?
て
Oh, I would buy that
プ
shit
レ
in a
イヤ
second,
ー
dude.
のなんだろう、キャラメイクで作られてるんで、僕らが手を下さずともあいつ勝手にクオリティ上がってしまう可能性が高い。
Some people are asking, oh, but what about Telegy Adelegy? And I realize his expression is part of the parts that you can select when you're creating your character. So because we're updating the player character facial parts,
Yeah, anybody that
Telegy
used a player
Adelegy
character model will
is
be
going to have his
updated.
graphical updates already.
It's
so
only unique NPCs that are deemed
he
not
may
important.
be an exception to those NPCs.
まあというわけでプレイヤーベースで組まれてるものはね必然的
なるほどね
にそうなるんですけど、まあナナモさんとかはねやった方がいいかなとは思ってるんですけど、ちょっとまだ精査まではしきれてないのでちょっとそういう状態が出るとは思うんですけどよろしくお願いします。
So yeah, any characters that are built based on facial parts or body parts that are available for players to utilize will probably be updated simultaneously with like the player character graphics. But there are certain key NPCs that we're also looking at. Maybe the Sultana, but we have yet to sort of assess, and we will continue to sort of explore the options.
でまあちょっと今日お見せしたのは繰り返しになりますがテストをスタートしてまだ1ヶ月ちょっとのデータなので、さらなるですねクオリティの向上に向けて
If there's a single character they're gonna make hyper realistic for one shot, it's gonna be fucking Hildebrand.
というのもお見せできればと思ってます。
And he's gonna be super gross looking.
But yeah, again, what we showed you was only about a month or so of testing. So we're hoping to provide you with more updates as they come in. Perhaps the other races, perhaps we can provide you an update with gear, etc. in the not so far future.
でそうだなあとは結構コメントであったんですけど装備の干渉なんとかしてほしいってあれは正直どうにもならないです。物理エンジンを入れて、計算でかわすしかないんですけどそれをやるとやっぱ動かなくなっちゃうと思うので、あとやっぱり
I can't believe the dog has been standing
装
next
備
to
の
Paige
干
the
渉
whole
を
time she's
許可してる
making
僕が、もういいとこれは割り切ってくれ
That
っ
dog is
て言ってるから
fat.
今のペースでそのアセットギアが報酬が装備がリリースできてるっていうところもあるので努力はしますが根本的にオフラインのゲームのようにはならないので、はい、そこはすいませんご了承ください。
And I'm also seeing comments about can you do something about like gear or equipment or like player characters like body parts interfering with the graphics of gear, equipped gear. And I'm afraid that is something that we cannot address fully. We would have to put in a physics engine in there, and that would cause for some of the characters to kind of not move properly anymore. And plus, I, as the director, have allowed for those imperfections to my team. I'm afraid we're just moving on with it, or else we won't be able to keep the pace in releasing these different gear and the different designs that is available. So I'm afraid we are unable to address it fully to match something that of a standalone game. Sorry.
さあでは次はですね、BG マップに関わるところもテスト1ヶ月
Oh, they're gonna show us!
サンプル持ってきました。
They're actually gonna show us!
We have more samples though. This
What
time
the
it's for
so they showed the
various
characters?
backgrounds and
Now they're gonna
map
show
elements.
what the environments
ま
will
ず
look
これ
like.
は単純にテクスチャーとかに何も手を入れずに配置できるライトの数を増やすっていうテストのサンプルです。
So this first image is a test of just simply the number of lights we can place in a certain scene without it touching any of the textures or surfaces.
配置ライト数をですね、複数
Oh,
増
that's
やすとこ
way
んな感じになり
nicer.
ます。
So we just added a few more lights in a particular scene, and what you see is
Hey,
in the
They
right side
put
of
the
the
picture
image.
up. That's
ラ
way
イトはですね
nicer.
遠くに左側ね、1灯しか焚けないので、ちょっと見てほしいのは手前側にあるデスクに影がほぼ落ちてないのが、右側複数ライトによってちゃんと影が出るようになってるでしょ。
So if you look at the one on the left, we were only able to place one light source in the scene, but in the picture on the right, we were able to place multiple lights to give it a more realistic look. And as you can see, the desk
Yeah,
is
you
now
don't need to
casting a
change the
shadow.
models.
まあ当然
You
分かり
just
やす
need
く
to
上の
change
方
the
にライト
textures and a
さらに
couple
1灯追加
of
さ
the
れてるの
shaders,
で、
and
まあ
that's
そこ
it.
まで作り込んでたのにライトが当たらないことによって全部黒で潰れちゃってたのが、まあ、しっかり見えてくるよう
Yeah,
に
the
な
tree
るの
looks
で、
way
これね
better.
多分プレイじっくり見ていないとというか受ける雰囲気が変わるのでこれによって。
And of course, I think one of the key changes that you can see is because we were able to place a light directly on top, you're able to see some of the details that would have been kind of hidden behind a shadow. And so I think with allowing for more lights to be placed, it will kind of give you a better impression of some of the atmosphere in some of these locations.
でさらにですね、こちら
Titania.
今の現在の状態のティターニアですね。
Next,
She's a
we
good
see
pick for this
Titania,
because of the way her
in
wings
her
look.
in their current state.
でこれはシャドウです。シャドウのテストをお見せします。
So this is where we tested out how shadows appear.
まあ影に使ってるテクスチャーの解像度と計算を上げていくので、これぐらいくっきり見えていくようになると思います。
Yo, Paige, check this one out.
So this is where we tested the texture as well as the calculation formula behind how we're
That's
displaying the
huge.
shadow underneath Titania. And we believe that we were able to improve the quality and the resolution up to what you see on the right image.
さらにですね、これ複数ライトも置いてみてるので、もう今の14だと左の環境しか作れないんですけど、複数ライトさらにカラー変えたりしていくことで、右のようにね、かなり複雑なライティングの絵作りっていうのができていくようになります。
And as you can see, we have multiple lights again in this updated picture, and then plus we put some colored lighting. So the background is exactly the same, and it was actually quite intricately built, but by having these different sort of
Yeah, this is
lighting
just a
available
lighting
to shine
test.
on it, you can see the complex details that was
And a
part
better
of the
shadow
structure.
on the floor.
ちなみにこれ左のティタニアのストーリー的には左の雰囲気がいいなって言ってるコメントがあるんですけど、はい、実はこの状態をさらにグレードアップさせたバージョンを BG チーム作ってきたんです、サンプルとして。ただ開発者目線で見ないと分かんないからライトの色を赤とかにして
I'm really thrilled they're
複数ライ
showing
ト
us
が
all
混
this
ざってるってい
stuff.
う環境を作ってくれって言って僕がわざわざデザイナーがセンスよく統一してきたものをバラしたんで、デザイナーのセンスじゃないので、これね、僕のプレゼン用だと思ってください。デザイナーの名誉のために言っときます。デモ用ですね。はい。
One thing I do want to clarify, because somebody pointed out they liked the look of the original Titania, where it has that sort of mood with all the muted colors. Yoshida I want to point out that this is the developers actually brought to me an example of what improved graphics would look like with.
Yeah, this is not what this specific thing is going to look like.
palette
It's
of
just an
the
example
original
because
picture,
of the
but
stage's
that's
look.
very much in the developer's perspective, and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference of what has improved. That's why I had requested my designer to intentionally place red lights, something that's more obvious, just to show an example. So don't worry, this is not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to like destroy the atmosphere. The designer was very mindful about keeping the tone of the story, but I wanted a more like overt example. So just wanted to clarify that.
でここでちょっとね特に注目してほしいのが画面右の奥、上の方に見えてるステンドグラスのあたりをちょっと見ていただきたいんですけど。
And one part that I do want to point out, if you look at the upper part of the image, where the stained glass is.
これ左と右マップのポリゴンは何も変わらないんですね。テクスチャー解像度も変わってないです。
So just reiterating that we have not changed any of the polygons that are in the map layout. We did not improve any of the textures here.
なのでライトを変える複数置けるようになるだけで実は BG アーティストたちがこだわって作っていた箇所っていうのがより明確にちゃんと見えるようになるんですよ。左は全部影で潰れてるんですけどもともとちゃんと凹凸あるんですね。
And so this is what I'm trying to show with this image is that by being able to place multiple lights in a scene, we are able to showcase the details that our background artists have put into the structure. So above these stained glass, you might see these sort of like tiered sort of molding on top. And the picture on the left, it makes it unnoticeable because it's kind of drowned in the shadows. So by being able to place multiple lights, we're able to accentuate those details that our background team has put into the structure.
ちなみにバックグラウンドアーティストたちはライトの追加をやっていこうって言ったらめっちゃ喜んでました。おー
So when we were talking about adding multiple lights, the background team definitely had a very strong reaction to that.
よかった。
さあで次はですね、こちらは金属表現を、その質感を上げますというサンプルになります。
So next sample we want to show you is how we depict like the texture of the metal.
こちらもですねデザイナーの趣味というよりはですね悪趣味なぐらい変えてくれって言ってるのでそれをご承知おきください。
And of course, this again is supposed to be an example, and so I asked my designer to make it very gaudy at this point. So please understand, it is not necessarily the designer's choice.
まあもともとやりたかったけどシェーダーがなくてできなかったので、まあこれぐらいゴールドをちゃんとやっていきます。
It's a massive improvement. Under the eye, you can even see the.
So up until now, we didn't have the proper shaders to apply, but we would love to improve the look of metallic surfaces. For example, gold here.
すごいですよね。
コメントで吉田の家じゃんって書いてあるんだけど、俺んちこんなんだってもう仕事してないわ。
People are saying, "Oh, is this Yoshida's house?" I was like, "No, if I were that rich, I wouldn't be working."
でもこれ怖いもんで今まで我々は左を金だと信じてまいりましたけど、なんかもうブラスにしか見えないですよね。Yeah, actually, we trusted left side screen is gold up until now, but now it only see brass, not gold, no more.
まあこういう形で金属の質感強化っていうのもやっていきます。まあこれはねとても分かりやすい例じゃないかなと思います。
Thank you for that. But yeah, again, we're trying to make improvements to the material quality, so the look of metallic surfaces as well.
This they just took it to the absolute max and fucking cranked it.
マップに使えるメモリっていうのも、上限を上げてあげようと思っているので、それによってですね、より多くのオブジェクトが配置できるようになっていきます。
And next was to look at the memory resources allocated to rendering a particular area on a map. And I'm looking to raise that sort of cap so that we can place more objects in a particular field.
まあこれ左側が現在よく
More flower pots!
マトシャと出会ったりするところですけど、
More flower pots!
これ現在ですね。
1.0's
So
revenge.
the left side, you may remember your first encounter with Matsuya.
でそれがですね今回このぐらいまではい
The
けるだ
flower
ろうと
pots, I told you. I
And
told you,
with
fuckers.
testing, we are seeing that we could possibly place more objects like these.
左と比べてですねやっぱりまず注目点としてはその1枚のループで作られてたその階段状になってる部分っていうのがそれぞれ素材違いをしかもこう組み合わせで、ずらして配置したりすることによってこう使い込まれた感とかより出せていけるこの辺りはね実はすごく大きいと思います。
And so in the left, you may
just a
notice that it's
texture?
just a repeat layered on, like a repeat layered on top of each other. But in the updated graphics, you can see that we are able to place objects not exactly
That'd be a displace map?
on top of each other.
I don't know
but
what that
being
is.
Shifted by a little bit.
Is that like a bump map or a
it'll
normal
allow
map?
For a more realistic depiction of the area has been in use. So this
Is that
is
like the
actually
next
quite,
normal map?
It helps with like the immersion.
で
Sorta,
あとは
yeah,
そ
good
の床ですね実は床の上にもう一枚テクスチャーを重ねてブレンドさせることでですね
Look at the
床の
rocks
こう
under the
ひび割
barrels.
れだったり
Oh, there's
細かい
rocks under the barrels.
今だとねメモリがないので
at that.
巨大な床を一枚貼ってどうにかところなんですけどそこをさらにこう
Ground texture's been
まあ
updated.
上げていけるようになる
And then the floor or the ground with the graphical update would be able to add another layer on
shout
top
out to whatever
give it
intrepid
more
YouTuber
texture,
goes
kind of
and
blend it
records
in.
the
So,
look
like cracks
of
in the
every
ground,
single location
previously,
in the
we
game
wouldn't have enough memory,
in the
so
2 years
we would just
between
have to
now and
paste one giant
7.0.
floor and deal with it. But with the graphical updates, I think we will be able to improve on the texture quality as well.
そしてですね続いてがちょっと BG でお知らせする最後になるんですが
Oh my god, guys. Virtual Realist is right. There are grapes in that barrel.
Samples that I've seen for
They're the old grapes too, you can tell.
こちらです我々開発チーム最大の敵自動草って呼んでるやつ
So this is one of our pet peeves, arch nemesis, I should say. These are like these automatically generated grass.
Get out.
これがですねカットシーンのチェックをやってるとですね割り込んでくるんですよ自動で生やされるんで多分カットシーン作ったスタッフの時には生えてなかったんでしょうけど僕がチェックする時は生えててですねこのジャギジャギがすごい入ってくるんですよカメラに
And this is so it takes away from cutscenes when it barges in. I'm sure when the cutscene team is creating the composition, they don't see the grass because this is just automatically generated after the fact. But sometimes it's like so close up and it's so pixelated, and that pixelation it bothered me very much.
Oh, the grass is automatically
今回もね実は
generated?
ちょっと裏話ですけど、
It's not placed?
まあ、エルピスでヘルメスにね、メーティオンにせがまれてエルピスの花をこう見せるシーン、
That's
夜空でねあるじゃないでヘルメスがこう仮面を外す、あそこがですね何度チェックしてても自動草が入ってくるんですよで頭にしちゃうんでもう BG
I'm just moving my phone, you idiots. I wish my dick was out to here. Thanks, I appreciate it.
除草剤を撒いてしまったんですね
So one behind the scenes comment I wanted to make when I was looking at the cutscene in Elpis, sorry spoilers, but Hermes, when he's talking to Meteon about, oh, I want to show you the flowers in
And then the flowers look
and
like
he
shit.
removes his mask. The grass automatically generates, and it gets in the way. So I got so mad. I told the background team, like, can you make it so that you don't have grass being generated in this part of the ground?
でそれがですね、今まだテスト中ですがこんな感じになりますはい
Hey, Paige.
But that will
Hey, Paige.
be updated, hopefully. Again, we're still testing, but this is a sample image of what it could look like.
でまあ種類もね
This is a lot.
複数
They're doing a
出るよう
lot.
になるのでこれね
That's one of them Skyrim mod
向こうに見える
grasses.
木とか全く今のままなんですけどまあこんなに変わるっすよね
I'm gonna have to go down to
And
1440p
plus, we are able to generate
like a peasant.
a variation of different grass or plants. And so while we haven't added or modified anything in the background, like the trees and the field in the background have not been modified, the look of it is different because of how we can process these automated grass.
You know, going down to 1440p won't be a problem if
申請から上月まで全ての
あ、なるほど。
they put new anti-aliasing in it.
草が綺麗になります。
And for this
Give me
update, we
temporal
will be
AA.
replacing the system that generates these grass or plant life. And so this should be applied throughout all of the areas from A Realm Reborn throughout Endwalker.
さあではバックグラウンド実はねまだあるんですけど、ちょっとどんな表現バックグラウンドを上げていくかというのをお知らせしておきます。
We've done various other testings in terms of background elements, but allow me to summarize again.
まず先ほど、サンプルでも見ていただきましたライト配置数の追加、質感凹凸表現ね、雰囲気の強化っていう
Are they
のが
really going to be
これによ
updating
って
the PS4
行われます。
version with this?
So again,
As if so, that's
we
insane.
are going to be doing additional lighting points, so improved visual quality, depth, and immersion.
そしてですね、影の高解像度化、影のテクスチャーを高解像度にすることでですね、ちらつかなくなったりですね、影がより
Decreased
メリハリが
flickering
つくようになります。
effects. I'm very glad.
And then higher resolution shadows. And so we'd be improving the texture of the shadow and how it's depicted so that it will allow for like flickering, decreased flickering.
ちょっと嘆きの海のマップを思い出していただきたいんですけど、あそこ実は雰囲気を宇宙空間にするために、ライトの距離をすごい遠くして、全体の暗さをこう締めるようなことをやってるんですけど、結果そうすると影がものすごく長く表示されるんだけど、テクスチャー解像度が低いがゆえにすごいじらついたりボケたりする箇所が結構多いんですよ。ただ雰囲気を優先したんで我慢してたんですけど、そういうところもですねより綺麗にちらつかずに影が出てくるようになると思います。
So if you would recall Mare Lamentorium and how we were trying to depict or make it seem like you're in outer space and make sure that the lighting had been placed in a very distant location so that we emphasize that sort of darkness that surrounds you. Because of that, whenever you're on the moon, your shadow gets to be very long, but because the shadow textures were not optimal, you would see frequent areas that would cause the shadows to flicker or it could get blurry. So with the graphical update, we're hoping to improve so that those shadows would come out a lot crisper.
そして質感表現の向上です。これもシェーダーでですね、金属と
So
か
happy.
布とか、まあそれ以外のちょっとシェーダーも今検討してます。
And then, of course, improve textures, which includes metals, fabrics, and we're also trying to consider what other
Big
elements
happy.
can we improve.
This is all the
そ
nice.
して
This
最
is
後にご覧
exactly
いた
what
だ
I
いた
wanted
自動
and
配置、植
like
物の強化、
expected
高解像
for
度に
this
した
kind
り
of
ですね、
thing.
あと植生をね、種類を増
Upgrades
や
will
した
be
り
tuned to the
していき
maximum
ます。
extent the performance allows. Good,
Lastly,
perfect, excellent.
more and better auto-generated greenery, which is increased resolution, variety, and etc.
で画面全体にフィルター効果として非常に重要な
No mention of anti-aliasing.
フォグ、いわゆる霧をこう重ねるみたいな、それをフォグって呼ぶんですけど、これらに関しては今テストをしてるんですけど、まだちょっとサンプルをお見せできない状態です。
And we're also considering other effects or filters that would apply to the overall screen, including ambient occlusion and fog effects. Now, those are still being tested, but we couldn't produce results that we can present at this time.
めちゃくちゃ雰囲気出るし、めちゃくちゃクオリティ上がるんですけど、画面全体にパフォーマンスの影響を与えるものなので、慎重にテストをして、しっかりこれだったら大丈夫だろう、その皆さんが極端に PC を買い替えたりとかしなくても あとオプションでねちょっと切ることで軽くできるとかっていうのをちゃんと用意した上でここまでやれますよっていうのをちゃんとお見せできる。まだちょっと1ヶ月じゃそこまではいけないので、ただこれらも強化はしていきますので、また続報をねお待ちいただければと思います。
And we totally understand that it will give it a different sense of atmosphere, or it would really improve the mood if we had those kinds of textures applied or those filters applied. But it does affect the overall performance of the game. So we will need to test it very carefully for sure. So we want to explore our options, but we also want to make sure that we are at a state where we're comfortable and not requiring for so much resources that players would have to like update their PC to an extreme, or be able to provide an option to shut it off if you want to optimize your performance. So I'm afraid we're not able to show you anything as of like a month or so of testing, but we're hoping to bring you updates further down the line. So yeah, if you could please stay tuned.
Isn't
for
this
that.
nice? They just tell
さて
us.
では、グラフィックス第1次グラフィックスアップデートの、今日お伝えできる範囲としては、ここまでとさせていただきます。
Okay, so in terms of the graphical updates and the preparations that we're making for it, I think is all that I have for today's presentation.
さあでは続いて、3つ目なんですが、引き続き多くのアップデートこれまでと変わらずですね、適切
On
な
an
スケジュールでお
appropriate
届けしていきますよというお話です。
So
Why
yeah,
can't Destiny
we
have this
will
kind of
continue
live
to
letter?
provide
Because
regular
then they'd have to hit their
updates on
targets.
an appropriate schedule.
せっかくの機会ということでですね、ちょっと 6.1 から 6.5 まで現状決まっているものでお知らせできそうなものをお知らせしておこうと思います。
So I would like to share information that we know that we're going to have from 6.1 through 6.5.
まずパッチ 6.1 なんですけど、こちらねリリース
Somehow further Hildebrand adventure.
4月には出します
Tataru's
はい
grand endeavor.
So 6.1 series. I understand that it's still kind of hard to see when it's coming, but we are looking at April at this time.
当然ですがメインクエストのアップデートっていうのは 6.1 から 6.5 まで新しい冒険をお届けしていこうと思ってます。
Of course, part of those updates will include the updates to the main scenario. We will have a new story with each patch installment.
そしてですね全世界から帰ってこいと言われていた、事件や紳士ねついに帰還でございます。ヒルディブランドの行月編が、始まります。
Is
Of course,
Tataru the
we've heard
trial
many people
series?
ask for him to come back. This gentleman extraordinaire, Mr. Hildebrand, will be making his return.
新しいサブクエストシリーズとしてですねタタルの、大繁盛商店というのが、連続
Kind of was
と
in
して始まり
Stormblood,
ます
right? Yeah.
And then, of course, a new series of side quests named Tataru's Grand Endeavor.
ちなみにヒルディブランドが最後に目撃されたのはパッチ 5.3 で実装された漆黒決戦ノルブランドでエリディブスによって召喚された中に
いましたね。
確率でたまに出てくるんでねあいつID の中に、あそこですね最後に目撃されてるのは。
I believe the last time Hildebrand was seen was in patch 5.3, the Hero's Gauntlet. And this is a random occurrence, so you may or may not have seen him. But when you are doing your Warrior of Light battle, he is one of the people that is summoned.
さあどんな冒険とかね珍道中になるのかぜひ楽しみにお待ちください。
But yeah, we hope you enjoy whatever odd adventures that he gets into.
どんどんいきます。パッチ 6.1 まだまだあってですね、アライアンスレイドミソロジー・オブ・エオルゼア12神にまつわる物語ですねスタートします。
There's Thornton.
Continuing with patch 6.1
Where's the Nidhogg?
updates, we will have our Alliance Raid Myths of the
That might be
Realm
Nidhogg.
Part 1 implemented. This is going to delve into or touch upon the mythos of
Could be
the
both.
12
Oh
gods.
no.
そして新 PVP のクリスタルコンフリクトというのが、スタートして蛮族クエストアルカソーダラ続編があって、ゼツは本当お待たせしました、レイド大好き勢、本当お待たせしたんですが最新ゼツリリースします。
And so next is a new PvP, the Crystalline Conflict. We will have a new Beast Tribe quest, or like a new tribal quest, Arkasodara Tribe quest in their dailies, and then a new ultimate content. Thank you so much for your patience. Our new ultimate duty will be implemented as of 6.1.
ゲームはねアルテマになりますがもうバランスチェックも終わっていて結構むずいですよ。
And of course, we will finally be reopening the Unreal battles. Ultima's Bane will be what's coming for the next battle. We are currently testing this out, but it's quite challenging.
アルテマウェポンってもともと結構初期に時間のない中で作られていて、IL が結構みんな上がってるんで、いろいろギミック無視できたりとか、被弾してもそんなになんですけど、レベル90でバランス取り直してきっちりアイテムレベル確定させたらね、やっぱ面白いしやりごたえあるなこれって感じでした。
Of course, when we first designed the Ultima weapon fight, it was done in a rush, and then by now I think people have raised their item level, so even if you take damage it's not as bad. But with the Unreal battles we have adjusted the boss fight so that it matches that of a level 90 player, so and we've kind of finalized the item level. So testing it out, I enjoyed it. It was a very interesting battle and it's very challenging for sure.
でも今ちょっとコメントであったんだけど、蛮族クエストっていう蛮族っていう呼び方やめたいなっていうコメントがあって、確かにそうだね。ちょっと考え直そう。メモっといてもらっていいかしら。はい。表現変えていきましょう。
There was a comment about the Beast Tribe quest, and it seems to not be very favorable to call it that. I know we're trying to shift it to say tribe quests, or like we're just calling it by the tribal name in the English, but we are going to try to figure out a better way to phrase it.
そして絶なんですけど、まあめっちゃ調整続いてるんですけど、多分一番難しいと思うんで、やる方は覚悟をしておいてください。
And I want to backtrack a little bit to the ultimate duty, the new ultimate duty, and we're balancing right now and making adjustments, but it's quite difficult. So if you're up for a challenge, that's fantastic. But yeah, it's going to take some. It's going to again be challenging.
絶は 6.11 かな。
Oh, I'm sorry. Ultimate would be not 6.1 but 6.11, so it's probably not at the same time as the major patch.
まあメインシナリオをやったり、
that
ハ
makes
ウ
sense.
ジングの抽選に応募したりとかすると思うので、2週間空けて出す予定かな。はい。
We are hoping that players would enjoy the main scenario first, and then 6.1 is also when we open up the Ishgard housing. So I'm sure people will want to sign up for like housing plots. So we're going to wait 2 weeks after the launch of the major patch and then release the ultimate duty.
まだまだあってですね、6.1。さっきお伝えしたメインクエスト ID のフェイスタイル 2.0 半やって、それ以外のID もちょっとグラフィックスの調整とかいろいろやってます。
So continuing on with the 6.1 series updates, so the main quest, the trust system for A Realm Reborn patch 2.0 main scenario dungeons.
そして新しいリワードシステムとしてですね、キャラクターカードっていうのの、システム実装が、ドーンと始まります。
And then a new calling card style UI. So this is going to be a new reward type system that we plan to start implementing.
まあこの辺の詳しい内容はね、3月4日からのまたパッチ 6.1 特集パート1パート2の方でお伝えしていきます。そしてお待たせしたロスガルの、新髪型対応がスタートとなります。
So for this calling card style UI, this is something that we'll cover in our next two live letters. There's one definitely planned on March the 4th, and we'll do like a 6.1 feature, part 1 and part 2. So we'll delve into details at that time. So next item would be new hairstyles for Hrothgar. Thank you so much for your patience on this.
そしてハウジング石屋ガールドハウジングが開き、お得意様取引はなんとアルフィノ・アリゼのお母様であるアメリアンス編となります。
The next two items is the opening of Imperium or Ishgard housing, and then custom deliveries. You get to meet with Alphino and Alizé's mom, Amelians.
新 PVP はいつですか、まあ、またちょっと PLL で詳しく言いますけど、6.15 を予定してます。はい。
We had a question about when is the new PvP going to go live. Again, we'll cover this in the upcoming other PLLs, but we are looking at 6.15 timing for that.
まあそれ以外にもですね、透滅戦など多数のものが、まあ透滅戦名前言えないですけど、ありますんで、ぜひご期待ください。ここまでがまあ 6.1 のざっくり概要です。はい。
And of course, new trials. We can't say what, but other sort of
Now, tell us
updates
now.
are
Come
planned
on.
for the 6.1 series.
そして続いて 6.2 ですがこんな感じになってて、まあ、一番の注目はやっぱりお知らせしていた、無人島開拓が 6.2 からスタートになります。
So next up is the 6.2 series. This is one of the
Variable
large,
Criterion's going to be
content, I
Deep
believe,
Dungeon.
Is the Island Sanctuary. That's when we're going to start opening this up.
昨日全体を一通りチェックしましたけど、めちゃくちゃでかいんで規模。だいぶね組み上がってるんでもう。
I had the opportunity to check the overall sort of content yesterday, and it's quite large scale, but I think it's coming along nicely.
またちょっと今日は時間がないのであれですけど、詳しく説明する機会は取ろうと思いますが、基本的には外の世界と全く異なるそこだけで完結できる遊びになってますし、まあ、ゆっくり本当にゆるくやれるので楽しみに待っていただけると嬉しいです。
So I'm afraid we don't have the time to cover it today, but we will take the time at another opportunity so that we can explain the details of this. But it is going to be a different sort of area that you can enjoy, and it's a very self-contained sort of content that you can enjoy.
でまあ2.x 残り新生オルゼアの 2.x シリーズのメインクエスト ID を全部対応し、想定編にも突入します。あとは武器強化コンテンツの新しいシリーズをスタートしますとかですね。
So going back to the earlier bullet points, we will be applying the trust system for the 2.x main scenario dungeons, maybe partially into Heavensward. It says here.
It is a bummer that Sanctuary is going to be 6.2. I know a lot of people are really excited for that.
Oh, we also want to mention we will be expanding on Glamours. Glamour ミラプリのごめんなさい、ミラプリはグラマープリズムの方でしょうか。言えない感じですか。
第一弾はプレート増やすをやっていくまず第一弾。
So glamour related updates. I'm sorry, I wasn't sure how to phrase it, so I squeezed it out of Yoshida-san. We will be addressing and expanding upon glamour plates as part of the first glamour related updates in 6.1 series.
まあちょっと全部書ききれないけど、いつもの討伐透滅戦のノーマルと極があるとかいうのは、まあいつも通りやっていくので、まあその辺は書かれてなくてもあると思ってもらえると助かります。
And of course, we will have whatever content that you can expect in a patch update, so like new trials, etc. It's not written here because we couldn't fit it all in the slides, but Yes.
収納数増やすトライもしてるから、ごっそりどっかのタイミングで増やします。
And we're also looking at like how to expand upon like the number of sets stored. So we're hoping to find an opportunity to do that update, like not an overhaul, but like an update on that as well.
そしてですね、さりげなく書かれてる新しいこの 6.2 から新しいバトルコンテンツ、タイプが全くこれまでと違うコンテンツを今開発中です。
And then the fourth bullet point, it's just kind of snuck in there as part of like the updates, but it's a new thing that we're trying to do. It's a dungeon with
Is
variable
Given barking the whole time?
difficulty.
No, he barked at Paige because she was making her salad and he would not have the salad and he wanted the
1
salad.
人から4人でチャレンジできて、1人で行く、2人で行く、3人で行く、
He
4
wanted
人
the
で行くっていう
salad.
ので、自動的にそれに合わせて難易度がコントロールされるっていうチャレンジ型のコンテンツになります。
And so the code name that we're using here is like Criterion Dungeons. But so you can attempt this with 1 to 4 people. And what makes it variable
Who
is
wouldn't like
that
the salad?
if you
Dude,
go
I've
in,
seen him
depending
eat
on
a
the number
rock.
of people you go in with. So
The
one
other one
person,
I'll play
2 people, 3 people, 4 people. The difficulty sort of varies. It will automatically scale. So it's like a content where players can sort of challenge themselves.
まあこちらも組み上がってはきてるんですけど、まだ調整いろいろチェックやってたりするんで、まあ 6.2 に近づいてきたらしっかり特集していきたいと思います。
It is coming along nicely, but and we're still performing checks on the content. So please stay tuned for new information as they become available when we can talk about 6.2.
そして 6.3
Yeah, I know I'm talking about the
に
new
なるとですね、
content.
メインクエストの
Sorry, I'm here for the slides,
想定編を
dude.
ここで完了させ
Wait,
る予定で
Criterion
す。
isn't Deep Dungeon.
And then moving into 6.3, so we continued to add more trust NPCs. We should be able to address the remaining main scenario instanced dungeons in Heaven's Word.
Maybe
で
I'm stupid,
タイのですね
maybe don't pay
世界中からですね、
attention.
ディープダンジョンシリーズの新しいのがやりたいという、お声をたくさん頂戴していたので、今企画をやっている最中です。6.3 で、ディープダンジョンシリーズの第3弾実装予定です。
And then players from around the world had asked about when do we get a new deep dungeon? And so we are in the planning phases at this time. We're hoping to launch the third in the series of deep dungeons at 6.3 series timing.
そしてですね、すでに、開発スタートして進んでるんですが、
Oh, thanks for coming, Cozy,
シリーズの
even if you don't play
第7弾を
14.
6.3 でリリース予定です。
Your presence is
And then,
appreciated.
we are already
I'm sure
starting to
something
make
will
plans
happen
for
that
this,
you think is
but,
hot.
We do intend on adding one more ultimate duty, so this will be the 5th one in the series.
そしてですね、6.2 でリリースされた、無人島開拓のアップデートももちろん行っていきます。
And then, of course, because we will be opening up the Island Sanctuary as of 6.2, at 6.3 series timing, we will continue to update it.
でまあ4と5はちょっとパチ 6.4 と5はまとめてのご紹介になっちゃいますが、
Additional island
こ
for
の4と5で
Island Sanctuary
グレー編のメインクエスト ID のフェイスタイを全部終わらせて、
Criterion does-
これで
Oh, so Criterion is gonna be like a whole
ストーリー上の登場する
thing.
ID は、全部対応が終わる予定です。
If it scales by
And
player
then
difficulty,
next,
that might actually be
next
really
stage
great
covers
to
both
for solo
6.4
content.
and 6.5 series, but by this time we aim
Yeah, it
to
sounds like it could be Relic.
complete the trust system implementation into all of the Stormblood main series scenario dungeon, main scenario dungeon series, and so that should get through all of Stormblood.
で難易度可変ダンジョンと呼んでる新しいバトルコンテンツシリーズの第2弾とか第3弾も入れていきますし、無人島開拓の開拓エリアを追加したりっていう予定ももう当然ね、我々長期計画で進んでるので予定されてます。
And then, of course, our Criterion dungeons will see an update. We should have numbers 2 and 3 implemented. And then for Island Sanctuary, at this time, we want to expand upon the area. So we'll have an additional area.
でですね、例えば青魔同士のレベルキャップをどのタイミングにする、解放をどのタイミングにするのとか、そういう状況を見ながら調整しているものに関してはどうしてもまだ言えないので、それらもちゃんとどっかのタイミングでやっていきますんで、またそれぞれでですね、パッチのこう特集をお待ちいただければありがたいなと。やらないとかいうわけじゃないんで、ここに書かれてないものはね、まだ詰め切れてないものはちょっと言えないので、さすがに。まあこの辺りはもう全部確定しているのでお知らせしております。
I'm sure some of you might be wondering about, okay, when is the next time the Blue Mage is going to have their level cap increased? And some of these items, we need to monitor the situation. And so I'm afraid we aren't able to determine exactly when this is going to happen.
People like
but we
Blue
do
Mage,
intend
Yellow
on
Couch.
doing it. We will share more information when we are going to do like a patch specific like updates live stream. Please note that even if it's not written in the document, it doesn't mean that we're not going to do it. So yeah, there might be information that we're still in the planning phases and we weren't
like
able
Mage.
to solidify at this time. So
Oh, hey, Becca Tyler, how you doing?
We'll continue to look at
Glad to see
the
you here.
various existing content and provide updates when we can.
まあなんかパッチ情報を出すとみんな細かいところあれはどうこれはどうってやっぱなっちゃうよね。まあ皆さんが思ってることは基本的にやっていくんで大丈夫ですよ。
I see that people in the comments are talking about various granular areas of patch updates, and I think it's safe to say that things that we know people are expecting in a regular update will more than likely be included. So I want to make sure that yeah, don't be worried.
まあアルカスソーダラの次がのはどうなるの、種族ってどうなるのとかもう全部決まってます。ちゃんと毎パッチやっていくので、まああれかなこれかなって思いながら待っていただけると嬉しいです。
Come here.
And the tribal quest beyond Arcasadara is, I'm sure, a mystery, but we have a plan. We do have like which.
Maybe an Island Sanctuary would be maybe a way to grind mobs, drops, or crafting. Nah, they already have that with the Fate
content
currency.
Available per each of the patch. So it'd be great if you could wait, or not wait, but like speculate.
No, Judy, come on.
Kind of imagine which tribe will we be focusing in on.
あとゴールドソーサーも予定してるんですけど、4になるか5になるかまだ決まってないんでちょっと待ってください。
And we do intend on making Gold Saucer updates, but we still haven't determined if it's going to be 6.4 or 6.5. So that's why we're not mentioning it at this time.
さあというわけでまあ変わらずですね、もりもりでやっていきますよというお知らせでした。
But yeah, just wanted to go through all of these roadmaps just so that we know that we plan to continue providing very hefty updates.
ただですね、一個皆さんにこれを踏まえてですね、ちょっとお知らせをさせてください。
Are they gonna give us
But with
dates?
that being said, allow me to make one announcement.
メジャーパッチのサイクルについてです。
And this is regarding the major patch cycle.
これまでですね、申請スタートからですね、まあずっとできるだけこの 3.5 ヶ月に1メジャーパッチ配信っていうのをまあ目標に掲げてやってきました。
So of course, since the relaunch as A Realm Reborn, we've
They're gonna
keep
put it
this
out
pace
further,
of
guys.
One major patch update per every 3.5 months.
でこれがですね、
It's gonna be
本当に申し訳ないんです
5
が、
months.
2週間プラスしてですね、
Oh,
4ヶ月にさせてください。
And I'm
Okay.
terribly sorry to ask you of this, but we need to extend it by 2 weeks, and so we want to change it so that it's one
okay.
major patch every 4 months.
でこの2週間って何かっていうとですね、
That's fine.
まあ我々開発内では実装期間っていうのと調整期間っていうので大きく2つあるんですけど、この実装期間にプラスあと1週間、 それから調整期間にプラスあと1週間の時間をいただいて、まあ、マイメジャーパッチを 3.5 ヶ月でなんとかやってきたのをちょっと4ヶ月、まあ、プラス2周させていただけると助かります。
So of course we have periods of our
And we dealt with
development
like
cycle
6
where
months
it's
on
development
5.3.
and then implementation, and various adjustments, fine tuning that we do. So those 2 weeks that we ask of you for your patients is 1 week for additional implementation, and then 1 week additional for fine tuning. So that makes it that 3.5 months now turns into 4 months.
でですね、夏季休暇期間とか、まあ、我々やっぱりサマーバケーションスタッフに渡したりですね、年末年始やっぱり家族とねゆっくり過ごしてほしいっていうのがあるので、まあ、夏季休暇期間とか年末年始の場合には、まあ、これにプラス1週間ねさせていただくことがあるかなと思います。
And in addition to that, we do have breaks, like summer vacation or summer holidays, New Year's holidays. I'm sure people have family that they would visit over the holidays, and so for those holiday seasons, we might see an additional like 1 week's not delay, but like 1 week's time added as well.
まあやっぱりここまでその前半の10年間っていうところでもお伝えしましたけど、相当みんなの開発チーム運営チームのモチベーションというところに頼ってやってきたところがあるなと思っていて、まあそれは僕自身のこう稼働の高さも含めてなんですけど、まあ休みたいというよりはやっぱり適切にみんな健康で健やかに開発に取り組むことでよりクオリティも上がっていくだろう。でもまあ事実足りてない無理をしてきたっていうところもあるので、ちょっとそれが理由になってます。
As I explained in the first half, when we were looking back at our first 10 years, we really depended on the motivation of each of the developers that are on the team, and me included. I was moving around and very hands-on with my team, but looking at our schedule and how we work, I do want my team to be healthy and be able to sort of maintain a good level of quality because they are taking the necessary breaks. And to be honest, there were areas where we might not have performed as well as we should have because some of us may have been pushing too hard. So that's the reasoning behind why we want additional time.
These folks deserve their time off.
でまあ非常にね皆さん優しいコメントいただけてるんでとても嬉しい。特にスタッフの健康とかね気遣っていただけてるんでとても嬉しいんですけど、まあこれまで 2.0 からねなんとか 3.5 ヶ月でこうやってきたこの実装10何週調整何週みたいなのでまあやってきたんですけど、ちょっとね比較を持ってきました。
And thank you so much for the kind comments regarding our staff and making sure that you're showing your concern to our staff members. It really warms my heart, and I'll make sure to relay that. But considering what we've been doing in terms of providing an update every 3.5 months since 2.0, and we work with a schedule of like such and such weeks for implementation and whatnot. So we put together this comparison chart for you to take a look.
まあこれまで、企画、開発、調整、デバッグっていうのを、まあ、3.5 ヶ月でやってきてたんですけど、
Of course, our development largely is broken down to planning, development, adjustments, and debug. And this is some of the numbers that we've pulled
It's
up.
fascinating.
まあ、パッチ 3.3 の時が左の列、5.3 の時が右の列です。
So the column on the left is patch 3.3 series timing, and then the column on the right is patch 5.3 series.
まあ、コンテンツ数がね、そこまで極端にってわけじゃないんですけど、やっぱジョブ数がまずね、11だったのが18になってたり、ボス数が作ってるボス数がもう17から23って増えてるんですね。これ当然調整コストめちゃくちゃ増えてるんで、増えましたな。
So, I mean, the number of content, like types of content, may not have varied over the years. But if you look at, say, like the number of jobs, from patch 3.3, 11 jobs, we've now jumped up to 18 as of 5.3, which means a lot of different balance adjustments for those. Number of bosses have gone from 17 to 23.
もちろんね、開発スタッフっていうのも皆さんからいただいた月額課金で、まあ、どんどん採用してどんどん増やしていてチーム規模も当然上がってるんですけど、じゃあ人が増えればそんなに簡単に僕ら工場製品作ってるわけじゃないので量産が上がるかっていうとやっぱりそうではない。トレーニングも必要、経験も必要。やっぱりそんなスーパーエースたちが中川とか須藤とかがバンバン育っていくわけじゃないので
Of course, with our development team, thanks to the support via monthly submissions, our subscriptions from everybody, we are able to strengthen our team. We were able to hire additional staff. And so our team has definitely grown, but I mean, we're not in a factory manufacturing, we're not an assembly line. So we require training. We require for our staff to gain experience. Not everybody is a super ace player like Nakagawa or Sudo.
例えばこの開発チーム運営チーム三角形だとした場合に、この三角のスケールはめっちゃ大きくできるんですよ。
はいはいはい。
だけど結局上の方に行くと、どこまで行っても最後は頂点はディレクターとかプロデューサーってなってくるとここがやっぱそんな簡単には増えないんで、まあ、何でもかんでもたくさん調整もチェックもせずに出すってわけにもいかないから、まあ、吉田を別に分身させろとかその培養して増やせばって考えもなきにしもあらずだけど、ちょっとまだテクノロジーがそこまで追いついてないんで。
So if you would imagine our sort of team, I guess, our staff, or how we're organized as like a giant triangle. And of course, we can always scale the triangle to be larger, but I mean, it's still a triangle, so the tip is very small. And when you get to like the director and producer level, I mean, we train fantastic people, but like it doesn't grow in numbers as much as like when you scale the lower part of it. And there still requires a lot of adjustments that need to be applied on the things that we do create. And of course, it would be awesome if we can create like multiples of Yoshida. Maybe if we can clone him or like, I don't know. But still, it is quite a challenge.
吉田にハイデリンキックし分割しようって言われてるけど、それ薄くなってんじゃん一吉田。
24個に。
Somebody's saying, perform the Heidelin kick on Yoshida and sunder him. Then we'll have 14 of him. But then wait, no, but he's sundered, so he's like thinner. Like you have a diluted version of him.
いやいや、まあでもね、例えばそのカットシーンの数字なんてね、2時間25分トータルだった自動送りしていくと、まあパチコーテだと4時間30分になってるんですけど、まあ当然ですけど、そのいただいた利益で人も増やし、いろんな会社さんにお願いして腕のいい人たちにたくさんカットシーンやっぱ作ってもらってるんですけど、どうしてもねディレクションする側っていうのの人数は限られてくるので、それでももう倍増近い感じですし。
And if we look at the cutscenes, we went from 2 hours 25 minutes to 4 hours and 30 minutes. And this is like if you let the dialogue autoplay. But I mean, we have brought on many talented people onto our teams, but we still require somebody to look at the product that they create, and there needs to be a director that makes sure that we're aligned.
もうなんか面白い、もうなんか能力の薄い吉田のただのやからやんけって
comments still going on about Sundered Yoshida. Like, well, but what if he's like that's like a low quality Yoshida? It's just a man.
まあというわけでですね、これからもちょっと今日お伝えした内容 7.0 に向かっていろいろやっていきます。パッチの物量というのも頑張ってまた作っていきますし、クオリティとか調整というところも妥協なくねまた進めていきたいとは思うんですが、まあその分ですね、ちょっとこれまでのパッチサイクル3.5 ヶ月にプラス2周させていただいて4ヶ月っていうサイクルでですね、ここから先まだまだ楽しみお届けしていこうと思ってます。
But yeah, we are making various plans leading up to 7.0, and we still want to continue bringing you the different patch updates. And so, with the different elements that we implement, as well as the balancing that we do, the fine tuning, we don't want to compromise any of that. That's why we do want to continue producing the patches to the quality that we hold ourselves up to. So we do want to ask for that initial 2 weeks so that we will have the 4-month patch cycle, but we will continue to bring you regular updates.
まあ本当にあと10年やっていけばとてつもなく長い旅になると思ってます。皆さんとね一緒に今度は20年歩んでいこうってことになるかと思います。
And we strive for another 10 years. This is our goal, and I'm hoping that we will get to a point where we will be celebrating, or like we will be looking back at our journey in our 20th anniversary.
まだまだやりたいことね、チャレンジしてみたいことあります。驚いてもらえることやっていこうと思いますので、ぜひこの先もですね、一緒にまた14作っていただけると嬉しいです。はい。
We do want to do more, take on more and more challenges, bring you more surprises. So I want to continue building this together with you all. So yeah, it would be great if you could continue to keep with us.
はい、では前半。
はい、ありがとうございました。Thank you very much. So this is
it?
all about the first half of today's letter live. 今日の前半、
the first half.
されたライブの前半戦はここまでとな
1個忘れた。
どうぞ。
DC トラベルはいつが結構多くて、今のところ予定 6.18 かなで予定してますんで。
Sorry, one more thing. We did see a lot of comments about, so when is data center travel going to be implemented?
Next is the Q&A? Oh, I don't give a shit about that!
6.18 timing for that.
はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. ではこの後休憩に入るんですが、ですね、今日は後半戦は通訳は別の方にお願いすることになっておりますので、あいみさんがここまでとなります。So before going to
Gotta put myself back in the other corner. You're right.
Because we have another person for translation for the Q&A part. So that's it for あいみさん today. So あいみさん皆さんに一言ご挨拶お願いします。
はい、長い間お付き合いいただき
Stream it
ありがとうございました。
anyway? I don't want to.
Thank you guys so much for your patience as we navigate through all of this. But yeah, I will see you guys at another opportunity.
ありがとうございます。Thank you very much, あいみさん。
まあ僕がね、
Alright, I'm gonna go be right back. I'm gonna go pee and take the dog out, and then we come back, we'll thank the people.
お届けできる
Oh, they're dying.
っていうのは本当にあゆみさんの
Oh,
高い
no.
翻訳スキル、特にね僕の性格を
Alright,
把握した
I'll
上
see
で
you
やっ
guys
ぱ
in
り
a couple minutes.
トランスレーション
Let's go.
Reload.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? Hope y'all are doing well. It's me, Pat. It's me. Is dog poop? No, he just had to pee. I want to give a shout out to my co-host Zangief. He's just a baby. No, don't eat me. Always eating me. Ew. Ew. I love you. Mwah. Look at him. So baby. Oh. Are you a baby? No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Too baby. Mwah. Oh, he's so heavy. Oh. Shout out to my piggy boy. All right. First of all, thanks for everybody. Gross. Ugh. Gross. He wakes me up like that sometimes. Wakes Paige up too. You're sleeping, and then just blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay. All right. Hey, I want to give a shout out to everyone who showed up today's stream. Thank you very much for coming out. Very excited about the future of Final Fantasy, including people like Cozy, who don't actually play the game. But just want to hang out and be cool. That's really nice of y'all. I also want to give a very special shout out to a certain someone that got banned from the sub Discord and then proceeded to scream at me for like a half hour that I don't know shit about Destiny and FF14 because I don't raid, but then still was interested enough in my thoughts on the matter to show up to this stream so he could watch me watch the live letter. So bye. What, did you fucking think I wouldn't notice, you fucking idiot? All right, moving on. Moving on. Let's that. God damn it. Zangief. Zangief. No.
What's he doing?
He's being fat and he threw his toy. Eh. This dog is so fucking tough, dude. You can like smack his butt, and he just looks at you and goes, "Arr, arr, arr, arr." Come on. Hey, get out of here. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Ugh. Why you like this? Why you like this? Huh? Why you like this? Keep it. Okay. Oh, will do, Quick Quack. Don't you worry about it. How do I message on this? I don't think I can. Anyway. Geefy. Geefy, come on. Yeah. 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 God damn it, boy. Come here. You are too much of a rambunctious shithead right now. Do you understand this? Look at this ferocious pig. No, don't. He always wants to suck on our hands. It's so weird. He doesn't want to eat us, just wants to taste. See? Just taste. Stupid idiot. All right. All right, I am gonna go hit up Queequeg on the Twitter. Just 1 second. I'm doing a good job. Doing the tweets. By the way, Queequeg, I just want to hit you up that your fucking Twitter name is the fucking worst. And I hate it. And I'm typing it in wrong, and I'm having to continually retype it, and I hate it. Oh, hate it. All right. It's just the worst. Ah. All right. Let's thank some people. Are all the 14 servers cleared up, or is it still congested? It's back to normal. Oh, he wasn't already banned in the Discord? I thought he was. Thanks, Dryden. All right, let's thank Rulani. Thank you for subbing. Appreciate it. Draco Mundo kicked in a sub to say, hey, Pat. Paige? What, he knock over something important?
I don't know.
I just heard like a big... Well, I don't... You keep glasses over there. I don't want glass to fall down. Oh, really? Oh, he's taking... Wow, he's taking initiative. He's fighting... Because we have this, like, what is it, apple spray? Bitter apple spray we put on things if he wants to eat them, to make him not eat them, and he just, like, knocked it down. He was like, Does Paige feel like a DBD stream tonight or something? Why don't you ask Paige? Probably not. I'm gonna say probably not. Hey! So Dracomundo says that they lost all their Mass Effect 1 data after a move. I'm totally spoiler free on 2 and 3. Should I just watch you play instead? Yeah, it's fine. The carryover stuff is really minor, particularly for Mass Effect 1. Lo-Fi Warlock sub, so did Fallen Angel Zelos. Thank you, appreciate it. Zephyrl sub. I'm guessing now that you've seen the NFT stuff that they were talking about in the pre-show for the live letter. Yeah, fuck it. Struggle Punt, hey, Pat, if you had to make a dream kit to fix Dark Knight, what would it be? I would give a trait to increase healing on... I would give a trait to increase healing on... Living Dead. And I would put health regain on Quietus and Blood Spiller by default. Oh no, on Blood Weapon. Yeah, put it on Blood Weapon. Fuck it. There, done. Biohunter sub. Thanks, Biohunter. CJJB95 kicked in $5. Thank you, man. Hey, Pat. You're looking for something to stream for a few days before Elden Ring. Why not give Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel a try? I have one card game in my heart. Run one room for card game in my heart, and that's it. He's got it.
Down with this?
Yes, thank you. Page is fine. Yes, a test of your reflexes. Yes, thank you. How much of that could you guys hear? Could you hear Paige doing a scream? None? Just silence. Oh. Good to know. Good to know. I could get away with anything as long as I walk a couple feet away from this microphone. You're good at Paige.
You're gonna forget.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, oh, I'll just walk over here for no reason, and you're just gonna like
Rip the fattest fart. No, I would never do that. Do you know why? Because I have this nice butt cushion to soften my blows.
You can hear that.
Not with this technology on. I could shit my pants right here, go, and just, they'd only know by my blush. And the tears. True story. Kevin's Lunchbox sub says, I wish 14 had more FF10 stuff in it. Yeah, I wish I had Blitzball. That's just me. Mr. Peeps sub, my dog woke me up by farting on my face. I hope you are having a better day. Zangief has never woken us by farting on our face, but he has kept us up because we're trying to go to sleep and we're like, and then he goes, and then it's like, oh no, somebody just shat in our mouths. That's what it tastes like. Yeah, and it's like, oh god, stinky dog butt, but we love him anyway. Amani is a stupid bitch. Kicked in $5. Don't need to be so hard on yourself. Pat, I'm so mad. Someone in chat just told me Jesse in 14 is supposed to be a reference to Jesse in 7, and I never got that. I'm so pissed. This is bullshit. She's hanging out with Biggs and Wedge! How did you not get that? You can hear the microwave, but nothing else? That is weird. Luxray kicked in 7 months. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Previous 10 years, Asians. Next 10 years, Alligans? Nah, it's going to be Mericidians or something. Queequeg, I have to say, this might be the funniest, like, typo I've ever seen. Queequeg says, Paige, you might want to hear this.
Yeah.
Make sure never to feed the dog hamburgers. I was trapped with my bulldog growing up for 9 hours after we fed him a cheeseburger. Wow, how big did he get? Buttface kicked in a sub. Thanks, Buttface. Just finished 5.0 last week after 5 failed attempts to get into the game. Can't wait to get totally spoiled on Endwalker right now. They actually didn't spoil all that much. So kudos. Viva la Dragoon sub. Thanks, Viva la Dragoon. And also kicked in 500 bits. God damn it, Twitch. I thought you were supposed to be able to send a message when you subscribe. You are supposed to be able to send a message when you subscribe. I've been reading that for a while. Anyway, Pat, Lance McDonald talks about the stuttering clip in the We Lost on his Twitch channel. Anyway, did you hear about the official Elden Ring Red Bull collaboration stream tomorrow? You two big sloves. Hell yeah, did I learn about the Red Bull Elden Ring collaborative stream tomorrow? No, I won't be there. Amused Platypus kicked in a sub. Thanks, Amused Platypus. These live letters are so good. Thanks for the months of entertainment in these dark times, Pat. You're quite welcome. Absolutely. Mr. Tyler sub. I'm an hour late. What'd I miss? They're making the graphics shiny. You can go look at screenshots on the subreddit, I bet. Stratiotai kicked in a sub. Got to pick one game this month. Sifu or Elden Ring? Okay. If you were talking about dedicated 100% quality, I would say Sifu, actually. However, if you were talking value, now remember, I only played the network test. I double platinumed Sifu in 25 hours. I doubt you will even be able to get like a third of the way through Elden Ring in that time. So if you're like game per month limited, I couldn't possibly recommend anything but Elden Ring for quite a while, probably. Rios kicked in a sub. Thanks, Rios. Ashen Frenzy sub. Thank you. Nanaki14 says, I miss Ropat. I kind of miss him too, but the new one's so pretty. What can I do? Chili Punk sub. Thanks, Chili. Jin Boppo sub. Thanks, Jin Boppo. Fenrir Lives sub says, hey, Pat, my $1,900 streaming PC will be here next week, and I'm hyped. Even if I bought it right before finding out I need to move out and find an apartment next month. What's been discussed in the live letter before the new lighting pass? Not a whole lot, just mainly the graphics. And they're going to do bigger graphics. Also, enjoy your new computer. And I'm sure you'll find a place, no problem. Dr. James Woods kicked in 5 subs. Thank you, Dr. James Woods. And Yellow Couch kicked in 10 subs. Thanks again, Yellow Couch. You're great. Twitter's kind of awful, but you're great. Homeschool Dropout sub. Thanks, Homeschool Dropout. Absolutely drowning in Fantasia. I finally landed on a race that I haven't changed in a while. Male Lalafell. Every other race just has one thing that ruins it for me. Either too slim, nails clipping, or shit faces. Yeah, the tail stuff is real bad. They really need to have a I would kill for a graphical option that's just remove tail and be like, I lost my tail in the war. Lost my tail in the war. Stridon's resub for 62 months. Thank you, Stry. Really appreciate you as always. Love you, buddy. Civ kicked in $5. Hey, Pat, if you like Front Mission, the best of Dokemon Journey I did for Wooly has an opening stylized after Front Mission 3's trailer. Check it out. I will check that out. Thank you. Cobalt Phoenix sub. Thanks, Cobalt. I never thought a game would get me excited about Grass and Stairs, but here we are. It's a game you spend so much time on. Even a minor visual update is exciting. And Nocturne November sub. Did you update your camera? Your frame rate's higher. It is. Look at me. Ooh. Ooh. I did it. I did it. Hey, sexy local singles. Thanks for the sub, man. Here's your Discord rent, Slumlord Bouvet. Join the Discord. Pat threatens our lives and asks for advice 4 times a year. You're right. We have better Pat in Fuggins there. Also, what kind of loser gate keeps 14? A game completable by old dinosaurs. Gatekeeping in general is the pastime of the insecure. If you go into a games workshop and the dude's there like, yeah, whatever, man, get out, newbie, or whatever, because you want to play Warhammer, that's because they've attached too much of their personal identity to being a person who knows how to play Warhammer. And if somebody who comes in and is slightly more well-rounded and learns how to play Warhammer, that puts them on the back foot back to having no personality. And this is the case with money, with interests, with hobbies, with work, with relationships, with pregnancy, with anything. Anybody who's trying to gatekeep anybody is just painfully insecure. Distant Utopia kicked in a sub. Thank you. Hey, Pat, thanks for the entertaining live letter run through, man. What a surprising hype showcase. Here's to you keeping it real and entertaining all these months. I hope you could please give Elmo an extra smooch. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Monkey Weed yells out pregnancy. Hey, Paige, were we not just talking about pregnancy gatekeeping the other day?
Oh, yeah.
And how fucking nuts that is?
So weird.
Oh, you had a C-section? Oh, you didn't really give birth.
Baby extracted.
Oh, it's not.
You didn't give birth.
Oh, it's
what the
you know, you don't really know what it's like to be a mother. It is, dude, you can gatekeep anything. You can gatekeep anything. It's crazy. Oh, you quit drinking? How many times you been a week to your meetings?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't go to the meetings? You just stop drinking? Oh, yeah. Well, I see. You know, it's you don't have it. You know, you're doing it wrong, and you know you don't have your chip, so it's not like you've really, kicked it. Like, no, for real. Like, it's. No, Paige is not an AA.
What?
It's an example.
Why does everybody always think I'm drunk or high?
I wouldn't marry a drunk.
Yeah, who would do
All right. And see, get out of here. Go, get out. Go.
Sorry.
And CVP sub says ussy, 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 ussy. Thank you. Thank you very much, CVP. All right. I'm going to get out of here. Who should we raid today?
Action button is streaming.
Action button streaming. That's great. Let's go raid action button. Oh, Susie's streaming. What's she streaming? She's playing RE4. Sorry, Tim. But RE4 is my true love. All right, here we go. Bam. Everybody say hi to Susie. Be polite as always. And you have a good night. I'll see you Monday for the podcast. Bye.